Hello and welcome to this time we're doing Arc Arena number 2. So this is a big Arc tournament, and this is also for the Heroes Legacy qualifier. And obviously we have some cash prizes as well as a lot of shards to be handed out to the top players. And today we're looking at the top 4. So we're looking at 2 semifinals, one match for the third and fourth place, and then concluding with a best of 5 final. So with me today, as usual, is Cole. Hello,
Hey,
Cole.
Lord. Hello, what's up?
So as you see, either he's very good at sitting still, or we have some technical issues. So we're going with the technical issues. But yeah, we'll try to keep it at that.
It's a circus formation. I'm actually preparing for a very specific show. Okay. Really
Oh,
nice to
that's
be here for this top eight, among which we have some famous names, of course, some already qualified, but not as much as in previous tournament qualifier that we've seen, where the top eight is already a lot of people already qualified. I think in this one, we're going to have some real tension, some real contention about like who's going to actually oh no, they grabbing a slot already. Oh yes, it's for the cash prize only. Sorry, I got a bit overexcited in that because it's true that we've been seeing a lot of the same names. So it's really nice to see fresh names. Hopefully, maybe new players who learn the game in its most recent states. You know, as we were discussing with Lord, it's true that our games have shifted a lot, and we have all learned to play it in a certain way, with people always having the answers constantly and not being able to make proactive plays, which obviously has changed since the draw changed. So I'm really excited to see if those players can bring a new way to play the game and kind of, can beat the all the legends that we have around, because some of those players are in the top 100, but some of them we did not find. So yeah, let's see. And we have, I think, a quarterfinals that is going to be able to show that, which is Aracas versus
AC Bold. Yeah. So
AC Bold.
So we're waiting for the bracket to get the update, and I'm gonna do that. But since we know that some info about this tournament in general, so there are a few um, specifically like some specific rules in this
Oh yeah.
like because we our dear leader Bob Volt, he's Shadow's disciple. So obviously everybody here in the top 8, they had to play with you know with a Shadow deck as well. So we'll be looking at best of 3, and then will be the final will be best of 5. So that's
All
the
right, Shadow Adepts here. Okay, I was actually one of the Shadow Master in the Arkham tournaments. I played some games against my fellow, also Shadow in the personality test. So I guess we're home here. It's like Shadow Grounds.
Yeah, so let me jump over here to something just to get stuff rolling. Let's start looking at
Some decks.
Araka's decks list, and give
Yes.
us the ideas of what we're looking at here.
So, um, power stacking, banner, and field influence. Not one of the most classic lineup, even though power stacking and field influence are often there. Banner of command is most often seen with very high strength leader. Well, 725 is pretty decent already, but it's true that we mostly see it with like higher ones. So we can say that it's a bit of a, not say a risk, but it's trying something in a way. Power stacking with only plus 15 of stacking every turn on a nice tumule, which is built how with like one big nature, one big dark. It's mostly built around the leader being a response, I guess, because he has
Yeah,
more weakness than strength. Still the big Holy Soul, just in case, but it's very spread out in the Archoms, as we can see, which in my point of view right now could have worked a bit, I think, around on some of the Archoms that are not necessary to be able to be more proactive on the Trinities, because I don't think maybe it's he has strong enough cards, like in term of power in all of his Arkham to rely only on taking back the board. And I think this kind of stats like 665, 680 would need maybe a bit more proactive construction, but we'll see.
Yep.
Let's see. And field influence with a nice Argonaut. And what kind of field? 65, 65, and 50. So
Okay.
just slight boost, whereas the Banner of Command has a 130 dark field. We know he wants to be able to
Yeah, that's
play it anytime,
yeah.
anywhere.
Yep. Let's see if we
Okay,
can
nice.
jump over to the bracket now. We'll see if this works. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
You fancy graphics. So
Oh yeah, that's fancy.
this is what it thanks to Mondo. He's our resident graphic
Thank
stuff
you,
for this
Mondo.
type of stuff. And
Big
so
up.
as we see here, Bababos was facing up against AC Bold, and AC Bold pulled that one out. That should have been an interesting match. 2-1
Yeah.
to AC Bold. And then we have Cassidy versus Aracas. Aracas won 2-0. So that's the first semi-final we're looking at, Aracas versus AC Bold. And then on the other side, we had Bondix versus Devil Chicken. Oh no, Devil Chicken, my fellow
No.
Arcanite. He's out. Bondix took that one. And then we have Tumai versus Marseille 13, and Marseille took that one. So we'll be watching this AC Ball versus Aracas, and then we'll watching Bondix versus Marseille, and then we'll figure out watch the two losers of those semifinals, and yeah, we
It's a really interesting quarterfinal setup. Like AZ Bold crushing, no, but beating Babavos, who has been like dominating all those tournaments. And AZ Bold, I don't know if you know, but I'm not very familiar with the player. Cassidy, which we kind of know a bit, lost 2-0 to Araka. So this is like kind of the surprise matchup that we really want to see. Like two up and comers, probably really strong. Marseille Trains beating Tumai. Tumai is top 14 on the ladder, I think. So a pretty good show year two. Let's see what's up there. And Bondix Devil Chicken is kind of like the two most regular name after Babavos, like ladder regular, and they probably played against each other many times already.
yeah
And now, and so yeah, yeah, only kind of one of the ladder regular on the left, Bondix, and
yeah.
a lot of new gameplay. So yeah, pretty exciting.
We can have a look at AC Bold's deck as well. Let's jump over and just have a look at that before we start this match off. So
Okay.
go.
So this is an original lineup also, shift advantage, with a big dark. So like a way to be against Bob Volt, Okay, you want me to play dark? Fine, but I'll play with shift advantage, because I'm not gonna just follow the rules. And Banner of Command on the 735, which we're most used to. And we see that Brindle is being, of course, played in all the deck list. Why not? And Copy Power Air, very classic, one of my favorites. Lock as its finest, with a very, very min max classic spread. And only a 65 field. Only a 65 field. Okay, so it really chose to spread the min max as possible, and even removing the kind of field pair, which is not, I kind of like that, because when you play copy power nowadays, you kind of have to be more proactive with it in a lot of situations, even playing sometime mid game, uh, and you don't necessarily want to wait for the big counter like you used to. So I think I like that, just keeping the small 65 and being more ready in the deck itself, and not just all focused on the leader, especially since there's no air. Nowadays, if you want to play big airfield, you're going to want to play at least a second air in your deck to make the most of it.
Yeah,
But so yeah, pretty nice. I like what he's bringing. I like the energy of the decks. Let's see. A lot of 50 fields though, so he's really maximizing his S cards.
yep. So yeah, we're waiting for the first game. I think it's slightly imminent, but not quite yet. So as now that we've seen these different types of deck codes, obviously this is a new service that is being currently being developed,
That is
and
wonderful.
so it's what's called the CTA Deck Manager. And for anybody that wants to explore this a little bit on their own, you can go to ctamanager.com and you can create an account, log in, set the different things up, and you can do a lot of, you can get access to generating decks such as the ones that we've seen here. And
With
yeah,
a string code, is that it? You just paste a
yeah,
string
you
code
just
and
put
it
just
generates it?
yeah, just import. You just put in the deck code, and it just builds up everything to look like this, and you have your
Nice.
desk.
Really good way to share a deck with friends.
And we also are currently working on actually building a deck builder
Oh,
that you can do outside that will generate proper deck codes, and you can also import
nice.
directly here, and then you can tweak it in different ways. So I mean, you can, yeah, there's lots of options here, like all the different cards that exists. So,
Sweet.
it's lots of stuff to explore for people. And then for people that are tournament organizers and want to enforce deck lists, you can use this sort of tournament thingy here to create different tournaments and put different things in. And so,
So players could submit their, you put the deck list, the players submit it in there, and maybe they can access to it for the open deck list tournament, or is that
yep,
such a
yep,
thing?
yep, yep, yep.
Perfect. That's
So
really nice
we
because it's
will,
always kind of a challenge to know how to share the deck list to everyone, but only the players and everything. So
yeah, exactly.
that's really nice. Yeah, it's really important that projects like that develop around the game because we all need tools, especially in the world of data, of optimization, deck building with all the collections. Really interesting, and
Exactly.
it's really nice that you guys go upfront with such project.
So voting for decks and doing different things. So,
Yeah, that's also
but keep in
the
mind, this is
rating
still
also.
like beta version 0.1. This is a very, very early version. There is a lot of things to improve. There is a Discord, so join the Discord if you want to be more involved in development and where things could go. But I think we are ready to go. So let's, I think,
All right,
jump
CTA
into
manager, but it's
the
functional.
game.
Okay, so maybe it's gonna look better later, but it's already functional. I mean, it's like a good Excel.
Yeah.
All right, with the
So
new spectator mode.
yeah, this is a new
Okay.
spectator mode, so let's see how this goes. It's much improvement on availability. So just waiting for things to kick off here now.
So do we know if the first seat is at random? The first player? Yep.
Here we go.
Hey, Kuba.
Let's see what.
Okay.
Well, we're playing classic, so there is
No
funky,
affixes.
no
And
funky affixes.
60 points? Did you choose 60 points?
Yes, so it's hard
Yeah.
coded 60 points, and
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
all
It's
right.
one of
So
the best tools.
Arakas picked his water deck, and well, yeah, AC Bolt, which is, I guess,
Hey,
Hekuba.
Kuba.
Hekuba.
Yeah, I won't blame him. I have like one different nickname for every iteration on the internet. So
So let's see. All right, we start in the standard corner.
standard corner from Ekuba Aracas. Where is he gonna build? Is he gonna loot turn one? So Aracas is on the field. So field mirror with Ekuba on the advantage.
Yeah, I think the spectator mode will take everything to a whole new level for improving on streaming for sure.
Yep, yeah, yeah, it's so much smoother right now. There's no everything's really centered. Okay, so they are not creating Trinity. So as player one is so he has a weird situation, Ikuba, because he's both player one and wants to create Trinity, but he's also the advantage of the leader. So he's want to play also the control game, so that Aracas has to move forward with his leader and he can punish him. So it's
Yeah,
going to be Aracas. I think effort's going to need to be focused on either finding a sweet spot for the leader in mid game that's not going to be too punishing if it's taken back, or kind of neglect his leader and try to play another game. But he has the fire to take back, but 735, he really needs to put his leader in a spot where there will be no affinity for Ikuba to take back with his leader, which is not that hard, honestly.
mm.
So let's see. Let's see. For example, right now, if we would put it in B3, or there's no landmarks, maybe we can ask the player to put
Yes.
landmarks. In B3, then Ekuba would have no affinity taking back with the leader. And he could probably take back with his Sarash. Which is also why I didn't like too much the fire from Ekuba. And also why it's nice not to play too much, 7 Archons. You kind of need to set up your board so that when you take it back, you're not naked.
Yeah.
Valorek is really going in the tank, did not loot yet, probably this 460 water. He's thinking if he wants to optimize it this turn for somewhere or just throw it away. Yeah. It's like I kind of like it because this nature card, you really don't want to see it in the board, so you already have a loot target.
It's interesting now we're creating 2 corridors here.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. I mean, Arakas as player 2 doesn't really mind, especially if
yeah.
Ekuba's starting to fill it up right now.
Yep.
But see, now it's not as good as the take back, because even, yeah, because the Earth doesn't take back
Doesn't take back the top one.
the light, yeah, the top one. So you could either attack from D1, but it doesn't have a good Archon to attack in D1. Like, nature's not really nice. Like a Dark could have been sweet, but it could also just loot. I'm really conservative about looting, but I would have already looted once at
Yeah,
least and
they're holding
countercosted
them at least one
probably
because
twice.
I think keeping one loot is fine because then you can
Yeah,
play it at any time. But
yeah,
if you don't
exactly.
use your second before you really have to loot, then it's too late because then you're 1 card down that you could have had at that point.
I couldn't have said it better.
So, but of
It's
course,
yeah,
if sometimes
totally
you
agree.
don't loot, but I don't see any reason why they.
Yeah, especially while sometimes like they had expendable resources, like this Cocopelli. I love him, but in this game, it's not. It's like against Nature Leader with this board.
Yeah,
This guy's well, he's playing it now. Yeah,
yeah. It's-
that's the kind of one of the best player right now, but not one you're really
I mean,
happily like.
probably is he gonna play his big air now?
12-10, yeah, 7-10, two pause, but 12 is but the bigger is probably afraid, it's like power field. So like if you play the air, then he will play his water leader, then you
Yeah,
will play your nature leader, but then your nature leader doesn't have an affinity, so
yeah. That's the thing. Yep. Well, they're both sitting. I mean, yeah,
yes, we're gonna go turn 16 and
AC
they're gonna
AC Bold is sitting on some big cards. That's for sure.
yeah, but
710,
AC ball
735, and 715. He got all his big
yeah,
ones, all the
but
big boys.
it's not up to why have them if you don't use them.
Yeah.
Like be
Yes.
proactive with them. Like now he must not forget that he's player 1. If he keeps on playing this game, he's gonna lose because like the player 2 can always scrap the last little points when there's such a stale game. Especially when you have so many big cards, you just think, I played this one, it's taken by this and this, I can counter with this, and you just
Yeah. I mean, Araka's he's running down the clock a bit. I mean, obviously you're supposed to use all the time you need as long as
Mhm,
you have
mhm.
it. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. Yeah, that's
But yeah, we still have a few rounds to go. Still quite tight here.
so
See.
he played the air, yeah, small air, still not firing any big cards.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it goes with the but only in simple affinity. So what's the deal?
I
The
mean, he
deal
wants to
is that
force him to play his. If he wants to take it, he basically has to play the water in the A3, which is not a good thing because then you leave it open for.
yeah, but what
Yeah.
does it take back? It's
I mean,
like even
now
if
he can drop his leader in the corner.
yeah, but it's not even making a trinity.
Ah, no,
It's like
it's not. Yes.
it would have not taken anything. It's like a water and the lights. It would have been harmless. But it
Yeah,
goes with the big light, which is a very good
it's a good place.
feeling.
Yes, it's screwed up stuff a bit
Yeah, and
for
now you have
AC
your big
Bolt.
cards, and what are you gonna do with them?
Yeah, you can't use them now
And you
because
could have
the
used them to block something, you know.
yeah his leader
So
would have been able to do stuff, but not now.
of course, like a strong card is also a take back, but it's also a perfect lock for a strong position. Like when you sometimes when you're in the favorite position of a leader, just playing it before the other one is not a mistake. You know, if you're securing a strong position that you know is not going to be able to take back, or if he can take back, it's without a chain for sure. That's a really good position to try to optimize.
Yeah.
And now Ekuba is just
Oh, okay.
oh, Kuba.
Shush.
Well, so now we can take back both position with the light. He knows the light is not taken back, so probably you should just play in A1.
Probably just drop
Just
the fire and you get some
maybe
trinities.
even no, I would play the leader in A1. Just like dig as much as you can.
Yeah, but you don't.
Then
Ah, okay. I see
and
what
you
you.
take back the Trinity downstairs. You know, you dig up to the nature, and then you finish.
Yeah,
You finish by taking back your light on the next turn. If he takes back the light, if it doesn't, that means it doesn't take anything really important.
so you're gonna run out of time
But
first.
uh, but he could also just play the fire.
Yeah, that's what I would have played. Yeah,
Uh,
to make some trinities here to just harvest a little bit of points.
yeah, it's kind of a dangerous play in a way. In a way, dangerous. So we know it's not because we see Arrakas's hand, but now we just left potential dark trinity, dark affinity in attack. You know
True.
that a very even a small could have taken you know
Yeah.
the whole stuff. And not only Kuba would have created the Dark Trinity with water and fire, but he would also have created with air and light, and it would have been a massive downside, I guess, that you could have taken back with your own dark, but not with chain. I don't know. Doesn't matter in the end.
Yeah, he will just drop.
This water leader is gonna do the job just fine.
He's gonna run out of time first. Oh no, he
Oh
made it.
no, no, we just yeah, because we don't see when he plays. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
we
the
don't see.
spectator mode doing that. Yeah, I
Yep.
was kind of confused in the beginning. I was like, how did that fire come into play? You know, I didn't see it.
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, at
so
least now with spectator mode, we can always just go back and we can look at the final
that's
state here
nice. Yeah,
without
that's
too
so
much
nice.
problem.
So yeah, kind of, Ekuba for me, lost to his own device. Kind of, he didn't.
Yep.
I think he tried to lead the way in the game in some way, but probably didn't have the like to be able to do what he did well. You need to be able to build trinities. You cannot do what he did, putting fire next to fire. You need
Yep.
to start creating some fertile ground for yourself. And if you can, not for the other one, which fire is completely the opposite. Fire makes trinities for your opponent and not for you. So you really don't want to trust the middle of the board with double fire. I think this was already a very not interesting start for him.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, and see, and we saw that he also didn't loot until I don't know which turn. Like instead, I would loot my fire straight away and try to find an outcome that I actually want on the board.
Yep. So I flipped back here now to the because obviously Aracas will have to actually
Change.
change his deck, so he will have to
So
pick one of
the
these other
field
ones.
influence is locked.
Field
Okay, he
influence is
won with it.
locked.
Now he has to win with one of the two others.
Yep. So one of the other twos.
So they know about each other's deck list,
Yep.
and AZ Bold is still allowed to pick any deck, or is he not allowed to pick his nature deck anymore?
No, he can play any
He
deck.
can play any deck.
I
Okay,
believe
so
so.
at least. So we have Earth or Dark. Maybe he's gonna go with his Dark banner just to make sure he's at least neutral if he wants to play his. People I've seen that in those tournaments, people kind of tend to play their favorite deck first and kind of play it again. Like
Yep.
I remember in the X-Borg when people lost with their deck, they would a lot of the time just sleeve up the same deck right away. So I don't know if there's much mind game around this, and maybe it's just gonna take the dark to be kind of sure, safe.
Yeah, we,
Yeah.
we we will have to see, and yeah, we can have a quick look at.
At yeah, easy bolds deck list.
Easy bolts as well. So
So
I mean, we have his nature. I mean, maybe he's gonna play that again, maybe not.
nature neutral, shift is neutral also, and then you're down for the power mirror. But you saw that, maybe the easy ball didn't play the counter leader so well. I don't know. Maybe you wanna. I think I would probably take the dark. The rest is Earth. Earth is weak to shift advantage. It's weak to banner of command, and it's neutral versus.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could take the Earth just to rat out one of the good deck, like Hopi takes his power mirror. You take the Earth, lose to the power mirror, and then you come back with the banner dark after.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
probably
Could do something like that. Yeah, for sure.
this type of mind game is going to develop as tournaments go.
Oh
It's
yes.
just a bit maybe early.
Yeah. So we are just waiting for the next game. It should be any moment. They're just
Hmm.
coordinating with the deck codes,
So what's the
passing.
what's the big prize today? What's the winner's going to take home?
So I mean, there is a obviously the prize pool goes across everything, but it's mostly prana. So there was $1,000 in prana to be handed out basically,
Okay.
and but because we do have different pricing all the way down
Yeah,
to 32. So
32.
yeah, the first 32 gets to get a little bit something. It's not much there at the end, but obviously, and that's why we're playing for the third and fourth place as well because they have
Yeah,
different
to
price
separate
support.
the
Yeah, so
the price support.
yeah, can
Nice.
jump over to the bracket and just have a quick look while we're waiting. So yeah, you did say that Bondix has been around. I think quite a few of these people have already qualified um,
Yeah,
for the.
exactly what I had in mind. I wonder how many people are not qualified there. I would, I was just basing on the top eight that I see go through and the people that I play on the ladder. Well, Tuma is probably qualified because he's top 14. So if he's not, he's going to be very soon. Devil Chicken, you would best know, but he could have taken a spot already. Do you know if your Harkmate is qualified?
Yeah,
Devil Chicken?
I'm not sure because it's quite a lot of people that are qualified now, and it sort of blurs
Yeah.
together. The list is getting. I mean, it's quite a lot of people that will 256, right?
Babavos
So
is
yeah.
qualified 27 times, I think, approximately. I think maybe more. Uh,
Yes.
Cassidy, I don't know. I don't know. I would guess he's qualified, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But it's nice. It's nice to see new names.
Yes.
But right now, we see, yeah, Arakas played a good player one game. He just followed what he did what he had to do. He let his opponent play that. Maybe the stress of the tournament, also can cause you to make bad decisions.
Yes. I mean, obviously, it's all
It's really
all add
tense.
up.
So the quarters were played today or yesterday?
So yesterday, well, no,
Yesterday.
the quarters was played today.
Today, yeah. So
Yeah.
he just out of a 3 game match against Babavos, that he won. So
Yep.
maybe he's also, out of resources. Just focused on everything on this one match. It's just like,
Yep. Yep.
nah, we're gonna see. So yeah, we're gonna have a
Check see if I can sure that show
game
order
two.
landmarks. I think it's actually on the spectator, so actually it was probably all my fault.
Mm, it's you have to set it. Okay.
Yes,
Well,
I
it's a
probably.
new tool. We have to learn how to use new tools.
Okay,
So yeah, if we
let's do
take a look at the
this.
top ladder right now. So of course we have Babavos and Becky King on the top with so three of the top four spots are locked by Banner of Command with a very big card, which is something that's something we're
Mm,
looking into because it's kind of scary and we're just trying to separate as much as possible anything from the leader, which is already kind of the clutch point of the game. So um, you can expect something, not
all
too long
right,
from now
here we go.
about that. All right. So let's see. What did they choose? How did the mind game go?
Okay.
Yep,
I switched the. Yeah, it's a bit of a.
the players.
Yeah, they're on.
Right.
They switched side now, but okay.
It's okay. We are all
Now
bipolar here, so we
we're
will be
waiting for them
fine.
to figure out their. Okay, here we go. So now we have AC Bold on the left and Aracas on the right.
Okay, so we also don't see the mulligan decisions right in the
Correct.
spectator mode, which could be interesting to talk about that. But
Yes.
so yeah, it shows the same one as usual, and Aracas chose his dark leader, as we
Yep.
kind of had guessed. So once again, Aracas starting with like a crappy Arkham for your opponent and good for his in the corner. Ekuba is mirroring him,
Yeah. So
even though he's once
that's.
again playing an Arkham that's not good for him and maybe for his opponent, but he's player two, so it's okay. Ooh, was that a new trend? Or I don't understand. Why is player one neutral taking all the time? Is it
Well,
on TikTok? Is it
eh,
something I missed?
it's definitely because you don't want to set anything up for the others to actually be able to create any
Yeah,
type
but
of
that's
trinities or any type of even
you
you
also
know.
don't want to lose 26-28 against player two every time.
Yep, yep, yep.
It's um. Let's see. You know. So yes, we have a fire tech on the other fire tech. So
AC Bold is not getting all his big
finally
cards, but Aracas is found quite a few of his.
quite a few of you. How will he use them? So from
Yes.
now on, what kind of board do we build? Okay, so he's taking back there, putting a dark. Okay, could have seen it maybe with I don't know, water. Maybe a bit too obvious.
Yeah, I don't think you want to play water.
Well,
Yeah,
you have the tools to win the situation. Kind of, you have the big dark, you have the big air to take back. Mm.
true.
Oh,
Was a bit of a
need to
reconnect.
reset. So they're kind of playing the same game. They're
Yep.
restarting to build so kind of neglect the first corner. Like the first corner was killed by both player, and now they're building on top of the corner, just like trees that grow over well, stuff there. And so it's favorable to nature down there. What can Aracas try? Could Aracas try to trap the leader in a way with the air?
Aracas is really already running down his time quite.
Yeah, he likes to think. But so some people eat the fries first and the sandwich after. Some people eat at the same time. Some
It's
people think everything first and
it's
just play
interesting
after.
here now. You see how big difference there is in the clocks. I think we need to raise this to your
Oh yeah,
employer.
no, but it is raised. It is raised the clock stuff, and it's because Aracas just restarted the game. We
Ah,
saw that
yes, it got.
everything, and upon restart there is some clock confusion
Mm,
that goes around, but it should not impact the outcome of the game. Okay,
oh, okay, so you just. All right.
so it just locked. Well, not really locked, but started something,
I mean,
some
if
lock
you.
maneuver.
Uh,
Yeah, with the water, the cat C3 is player two. Could have, tried
I guess he wanted him to. Was it an attempt
and you
to
could
get
trade
him?
with a little Earth here, for example. You're the one who can take back with your big nature leader, put in a favorable spot, see what he does. You cannot really take back with his leader. I don't know. Felt like a good Earth spot. There's already 12 for player two. So what you need to try to do otherwise is try to lock. So the other way you can win, like the other nice way that you can win against a player two, if it gets to that game too much, is to create locks.
Yeah.
Take stuff that cannot be taken back, so you cannot take back the same amount of capture point that you did.
Right, here we go. Now we have some trinities, some points being
Trinities
earned.
going on, pocket being created by player one, but it's okay because
Yep,
it's a Trinity pocket, so it's really fine to create Trinity. It's actually a pretty good tool to create a Trinity pocket that the player two is not going to want to break and it's
yep,
going to
yep,
farm
yep.
you from Trinity. It's a bit far from the pocket, to be honest, but it's a start. It's going to move the fight down there, and
I mean, AC Bolt needs to play in either C2 or C3, right? I mean, yeah. And,
yes,
but
even for that.
it's a bit
See,
risky.
and yeah, exactly. And now there's the air that's still there with the affinity. That's
And
exactly
yeah,
exactly what we were saying at the beginning of this game. Is like is gonna try to find a setup so that he puts it and he traps him with an affinity in attack.
yep,
Very, very classic.
yeah, because you have to deal with the Trinity, otherwise it drains too much points. But
Yeah.
you
Well,
point
once
is,
again, like you say, it didn't have many options, but I think when you don't have many options, you actually do have. Like in the earlier spot, you must work when you know you're not gonna have the big cards. Well, you must delay the big play as much as possible because once the big cards are out, you're gonna lose that game, and you really try to make a lot of trinities point ahead, so that when the stuff turns around, you're a little bit ahead. But
but I think AC Ball has suffered. I mean, yeah, well, I mean, this is RNG, and when you sometimes, if you play two min max in your deck, you are
yeah,
not gonna draw your
totally,
big cards. That's
totally,
just the way
totally.
it is. And this time, Arakas, he got three of his, well, two of his big card plus his leader, of course. But
Yeah.
AC Ball only got his leader. He hasn't gotten any other big cards this turn, this game. So he's a little bit in a bind now, I think. I think
Yep.
it's hard
It's
to,
not. No, it's sure. Like the min max, the mulligan, the rejection of the mulligan was really hard for min max, which was the intention. It was
yeah,
healthy
yes,
to
yes,
have access to all that. So it takes some adaptation a little bit. Like, and of course, min max is still gonna work sometimes, and especially on the ladder when there's a lot of difference in level, you can just crush through maybe more easily. But in a tight, environment like a competitive tournament, you must be able to play another game than just your typical ladder game. And for once, some deck builders like Mr. Regame or others, or even Pops who didn't like mid-range card at all now are really happy to play them a lot and find them very game driving. It's not, of course, it's not efficient. It's not going to take 700, but it's game driving. In such game, you could see in that game typical setup where no players knew what to do. There were no players were building anything. They were just trying not to create the opportunity for the other one to build, but no intention of building anyway. So
yeah.
why even prevent the other one from building? He's not going to be building, and building as I've liked it a lot, and it's been more doable
What do you
with
think
this
here
patch.
now? Leader in D2 with field.
Arika's it's Arika's turn, yeah.
Yep. Darkness leader, 725.
Leader, yeah, you just need to lock basically something, and yeah, leader is gonna take this and this. Leader's fine, but do you play the field? Yeah, you
I
do.
mean, why not?
Who's playing this?
But he
It's
plays that.
it's
Okay,
fine to Elox. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's the weakest.
He's not in
What
a hurry. I guess he
Perfect
just,
call. I didn't see that side because what you need to do is lock his position as much as possible. This is the weak spot because the light actually takes from the inside, and now even if he takes back, he's not taking anything. He doesn't take the air. He doesn't take the light. He keeps on farming his trinity. He cannot create some because he needs a dark, and
yeah,
if it's a dark, it's going to be a really big dark to take a earth. So that was the actual really good play from Aracas because we've already seen Ekuba showing us that he couldn't take anything anyway, so you can definitely try it
yeah. He's just playing pretty
conservatively,
conservative
which
now.
is
So yeah, that's going to be a 2-0 to
two
Arakas.
zero from Aracas to Ekuba. And yeah, I think it's pretty fair. I'm not saying Ekuba is not as good as a player, but right now he wasn't able to bring such a tight game to this game, and Aracas really played well according to this, and just it's a neat 2-0, really well rounded up by Aracas. So GG, GG
GG.
Aracas, and welcome to the finals.
Yep. Arrakis
So
is in the
yeah,
final.
pretty tense game. Huh? It's the semi-final because we just start. The stream just started. It's like our first game. We're like, okay, this is warm up. No, this is the semi-finals of a
Final, yes.
2-day tournament. They've been battling 7 rounds yesterday, so
Yep.
they committed their weekend to this tournament and
And
to
then one
granting
round
the
now
rewards.
before. So yeah, this was the second round of today.
Yeah, it's not the play. It's tough on you. We all know free time is sacred, and it's when we choose to do something over others
Yep.
takes a lot of time in your weekend. So yeah, good game, good game. You got the qualification, you got some earnings, so it's gonna be able to grab some entries packs.
All right.
And
So
yeah,
yeah, we'll get the bracket updated. But yeah, Arrakas is moving on to the final, as we've said. And now we will jump over to the Bondix and the Marseille
Marseille
13.
baby.
And we'll take a short 1 minute break just to line people up and
Hmm.
back momentarily.
All right.
All right, we are back.
Hey,
Let's jump over to the
kicks.
decks before we start this
Oh
next.
yes. So
So
Marseille 13 versus Bondix.
yeah, so here we have Marseille. Uh,
Affinity reinforcement, field influence, power stacking. One of the most common lineup in this tournament. Maybe copy power was a common one because with the dark being enforced, if you don't have a big
yeah,
dark, then you're gonna go to copy power. But yeah, the classical, big guys. So it was a Solis at 640 to Ryzen's return to 700, which is pretty decent. Um,
what do you think they will pick first here? It's a random. I mean, it's pretty random crapshoot
I
here
think
now.
Field Influence. No, I think Field Influence is a pretty well-rounded deck. To a lot of people's favorite. Sarash 705 is always praised as really excellent stats.
Yeah.
It's got this nice field. I think Field Influence usually is a deck that needs more crafting than others because it's one of the only synergic decks that top ladder play usually most of them. So there's always this little emotional link that's created with the deck that change the powers here and there. We can see some 635 there is some thoughts behind stuff. I know it's not a lot, but still is something. The others probably a bit more stock deck list, like just min max. What can I squeeze in?
Let's have a
So
quick
I don't know.
quick
Yeah.
look at Bondix as well before we. Okay, this is
Oh,
Bondix.
640 power mirror, same. Field influence 710, and you know the classic lock. Classic lock. Very min max. It's not even a 65 field, like actually a 50 field. That's really
Yeah.
breathtaking. But 710, 705, 715, 710. As you say, it makes sense in this new format. It's like min max is becoming really hard to play because the variance is high. So uh, adding the variance of drawing maybe a field that you're not gonna draw most of the game to remove power from your cards, which are already subject to variance. I think it's a really smart way to reduce the variance. In a min max shell. Now you have your leader that's actually going to be a max card and doesn't cost you deck power. So you actually have a 250 straight power gain and just make it happen the most possible by having as many big cards. And you see often the copy power deck needs
Yeah.
to jam a 600 something somewhere, which it doesn't have because he saved the spot on the field. So pretty nice. I could see him starting with the field also. Well, the lock is also a very emotional card for people,
Yep.
and that I'm sorry, but the Solis Hannibal, in only B, I'm not sure it's getting him too excited. Yeah, so
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I think we are ready to go for the first game. Let's see. Let's see. What do we have?
what do we have here? Join spectate. So when they will actually both click join, oh no, it spectates automatically. I was thinking maybe you're gonna have to click spectate. So we see no affix is 60. Yeah, 60 is a really, really, really good
I mean,
choice.
it makes it a little bit more interesting. I think 65, you always drag it to the last
No, yeah,
card.
yeah.
Um,
We have theorized the perfect kind of our perfect victory point number to kind of 57 something, and it was really weird to put that, and we like the kind of range idea,
yeah,
to change the date. So we kind of ranged around 57 in a way.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So 60 is perfect.
Especially when you're playing without affixes, because that changes stuff quite a
Yeah,
lot. If you're playing with
yeah,
affixes, the ranges can be much wider.
yeah, it's true. I
So
actually was doing 50, sometimes 55, it depends, but 50.
yeah,
Okay. So
fire
Marseille
and
play was
air.
on the play. Air versus air, very good. Light in response, pretty. And see, exactly the decks that I forecasted.
Yes,
Aha,
a good job.
nice. Okay, so Marseille, ici, taking the opportunity to create something very favorable to him. There is like we call a cavalier, a knight being prepared with the air and the dark. And it's actually not gonna say a double knight, but it can also, thanks to a light on top, there can be development with water, which is going to be allowing, because like when you do something so obvious, a lot of time it's going to be countered, of course. You cannot expect a knight to work all the time. And so the knight is when you play, for example, this hair is being played here by Marseille, and then the dark, and then it's going to jam a light, for example, in c4.
Yeah,
And then from that point, you can play Sarash in b4 or in c3 and takes everything while creating a trinity. That's why we call a knight. It's a kind of
yep, 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 yep.
a setup to try to create. And so when it's countered, well, it didn't have the light yet, so but it can also be done through other ways. You want to have a backup plan,
Because he's going here to make points as quickly as possible.
Yeah. See, 2, 4, 5. So he's first, he's on the play, he's creating trinities because that's what you have to do, and try
Yeah,
to fight the good fight. So I really
I
like
mean,
that dynamic.
you can, yeah, you can't.
What's good here is always keeping his dark. As you can see, he built like the board is in a way that If
Yeah,
Bondix takes back the interesting part, he gets his Dark to attack back with his Sarash, of course.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see what Bondix does now. Is he gonna try to do? Yeah, and see. He went
Yeah,
that way.
smoke
Go
layer, I like
around.
it.
Yeah,
Pretty smooth, kind of neglects, the pair of Arkham in a way, not in a way, actually prevents the double affinities to be created later because you're not creating diversity of Arkhams.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
this works when we're chain is
exactly.
just one, so then you will still hold on to,
To the
right?
fire, and
Yeah.
then you can also take back by C3. And
Yes.
now it's like it's shaping up pretty well for Marseille Trez now. Doesn't mean it's won because swing back from mid late game can be very tense if you forget to tie your knots. Often you're gonna like
Hmm.
the previous game when he actually locked his light. We were focused on the other side, and then you forget that you get dug in by the light side, and you're like, oh, what's happening?
Yes.
20 point of drain. Oh, also the Calypso. Yeah, I was feeling that he needs to make a strong play here. He has the
Yeah.
big cards. The big cards are to be played, not to be held until whatever. So he wants to secure the position. He's not, he
Go for
doesn't
the
know that there's
darkness.
a big dark in front. You can only do what you can do. But it's worse to be afraid and not to play. It's
Yeah, I mean
keep a,
that's the
a
worst.
crippling state. Yeah,
Yeah, if
exactly. So,
it's worst if you finish the game and you still have big cards in your hand. That's like disaster.
mm, exactly.
Especially when you
And
lose and you still have big cards in your
especially
hand.
when
It's like
you're
ah.
copy power that you need to also as copy power it needs to play a big card fast, of course, but still
Yeah.
it was the right choice.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Okay.
we're taking the double trinity.
Yeah,
It's
I mean the
like,
double
okay,
trinity makes this guy pretty big.
it's like you got that other side, no problem. He's choosing his side. I
And
lost this part. It's too
and
hard to fight or too clunky. He doesn't want to just put his
and
dark there. So
especially when he did drop the big water already, and he knows that there is
exactly.
no
Oh my god,
giant
yes.
earth
Why
in
did you do
this.
that? Yeah, maybe you needed to drop something else big.
uh,
So double affinity too for this guy, which is gonna be hard to take back.
yeah, this one is. But he have to
Mhm.
play in there almost though.
But now we can take back in A2.
Yes, that is true. Drop the big. Yeah, the darkness. That's gonna be quite painful. But you don't. You don't. All right. Yeah,
Oh
that's
no,
not
it's not.
enough.
No,
I'm not.
it's just locking a trinity.
It's just looking at yeah.
Yeah, I'm not okay.
But I'm
Still,
not sure. I
it's.
don't think that makes you enough point at this point in the game.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you, and I think like he was afraid that his leader was going to be taken back. But if you create another front in which the player has to fight, like playing the dark in A2,
Yeah,
then the
exactly.
guy is not going to be able to fight your Sarash. And if he does, then you keep the big spot on the other side.
Exactly. Because
And
now
now
he
he's
locks this
locking.
down and
It's not locked because there's the
yeah, okay. Well,
the, the dark can get it, but it's not the guy keeps 4 point of Trinity. Mm, I really would have
it's
tried to, and we of course he knows, yeah, he knows there's the air leader, but even if he air leaders, it's like you're fighting the fight and then you can always go back through the dark again. Yeah, I think the turn he lost in point advantage by locking, like this spot would still be free right now. Hmm. Can you get something out of this? No,
I think
no,
this
no, 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 no.
becomes tricky now.
All right. So Marseille 13, after a
Yeah,
nice start, you see, since those games they can start well, but you can lose track of it. It's not something you're like, okay, I was up, I'm gonna win now. You really have to both create the gameplay and tie your ends, not to be taken back. It also depends on the outcomes. Okay, it was a really nice game, really interesting. I'm eager to see the second one. And also, let's say it's the copy power on the second spot. It's where it's at its best. Banner
yeah,
likes to be first, but copy power just thrives on being second. It's really really a nice spot. He didn't even have to play his leader, and it's something that often happens because the other player a lot of time plays in fear of the leader, and
Yes.
you can just control the game sometimes with the other elements. Let's see. I'll be happy to see Marseille 13 on the draw, see how this shapes out, and see what deck he chooses. So Bondix at the what a dark
Yeah, let me bring up
the deck list.
the Bondix decks and see what
Bondix,
he
because
can
we know
actually
Bondix cannot choose copy power air anymore,
switch over to that. Let's have a look. All right.
which is one of my favorite. Also, it's a really I have a really good copy power air right now in the ladder. Not similar at all. So it's going to be light or dark, straight up. So it's actually, oh, look, didn't he make kind of a lineup choice? So he has two opposite archons kind of on the heptagram.
Yep.
And so probably he chooses always to go with copy power first, maybe, or maybe not. Oh, no, actually, they oppose really well. Whichever he starts with, the other two are not easy to meta against, you know. You're gonna have something that's easy against light and air or
We'll probably pick his
aeration.
he'll probably pick his darkness, right? For the field.
He's gonna play first, yeah, yeah, totally. He's gonna play the position field. But what are
Ah, but Marseille might be
Marseille
pl-
decklist? Yeah, exactly. Because it depends what kind of counter he feels. But then also he can, you don't need to win all the games. He can send his field influence to trash now if he feels it's gonna make him win the third game with the power
I mean,
stacking
Marseille
light on the
obviously
two.
played his fire now, but we're checking the Marseille's here.
Also,
So he played the fire. So yeah.
exactly. So it's 50-50.
So I think for Bondix it's good to pick the darkness
Yeah, yeah, totally,
because then
totally.
he doesn't
Because
have any weaknesses.
yeah, and the control deck of Marseille is light, so the second, that's why you will want to play as a second player probably because it's the control deck and it's light, so maybe it's gonna force Marseille to also take his affinity reinforcement and finish by a Solis mirror.
Yeah. All right. I think they are ready. Check with.
Hmm, that's a really nice game. It turned pretty quickly also.
Yes. I mean, Marseille 13 had a little bit of a
It
head
was playing
start there,
fast.
but
Yeah, it was playing really fast. Maybe he's gonna chill out for the second game. Like we had Aracas that was taking all his time and or easy ball, I'm not sure. And now like
yeah.
he had played this card in 3 seconds. I mean, I was like, shla, shla. It's as if
I mean, it's good for us, but it's less. Yeah, you need to really utilize your time if you can. If you to think a little bit further ahead, it does not
yeah.
hurt.
Let us comment on the game now.
Yes,
Let us.
it's true. All right, here we go. Okay, so he kept the
So, oh yeah, no,
fire and
yeah. Of
went with the
course,
darkness. Yep.
he could keep the fire, of course, of
Yes,
course.
yes, yes. So, but that doesn't really matter. So it's a neutral game. Fire versus darkness.
Mm-mm-mm.
Uh, yeah, it's like the correct choice from Bondix.
Index on the play.
Yes,
Field influence mirror, footer mirror.
Bondix got all his dark cards.
We are seeing the same. It's the same
Oh
same screen.
no! Oh
I
no!
was like, they drew exactly the same end. What are
No.
the odds? No, okay,
So actually, we'll probably just be having
okay.
uh,
Well, it's a good
five.
stuff too. Honestly, I'm not against it. It's nice. It's nice to see both player, but you kind of switch left and right. And we're gonna see only one point of view, but we're gonna be able to follow it well, just as if we
Oh
were
yeah,
in
yeah.
Zoom.
No, that was on me. I think I didn't click the. You have to remember to click off one player one on each side, otherwise.
Okay,
But it
it's
should be all
fine.
right.
It's cool. It's different experiences of playing. So he already looted the first time, and so he doesn't want to loot the second time now, especially as these two feel too dark. So he's gonna have to play the Earth Guard kind of. Yep, and it's pretty fine. That's kind of the stuff you wanted to do. It's not an affinity for the Earth. Okay, so now we have the start of a potential knight being created, but it would work with a water, so it's not really that obvious. And we have Bondix creating a trinity right away as player one, but that's kind of, I would say, dangerous because now, like the take back in b3 as player two, creating a pocket
Very true. Very
can be
true.
like it's not a loss, but you need to make sure you can take back after, which he cannot really do because he has only one Archon.
Yeah.
So if like a strong air comes to help Marseille Trez here on b3, it could be not so nice, but let's see. Okay, it's not a strong one, but it is one.
So he's probably. Are you gonna go with darkness? A4.
Or maybe now the water in c3 that he just drew,
Yes, that's also.
or
But the water in C3 is not gonna give you any new
or the water
Trinity
in
points.
b2 in b4, because then you can take back through the light and you seal the pocket right away. I like to close the pocket issue right away when I have an opportunity to. By playing this water here, you get it you get it small enough so that it can be taken back by the light, and you can take back in c3 after the guy takes in a1, and you cruise back to the nature, and you cruise back to the earth, and you basically take everything again.
Yep, he did it. Okay, this
Yeah,
what.
he did it there, but that's not exactly what I expect. Because now you give the opportunity to your
Oh yeah,
opponents
yeah, yeah. Big time.
to take with something that water, that light and air don't take. That's
Especially if he has. I mean, he's fire.
earth.
He's his
Earth
leader
now?
right away. I mean,
Yeah,
why not drop your leader right away? You'll take everything,
yeah,
and you
you
get
do it. You
another.
do it. Oh, I'm not really sure what Bondix did now. It was like
I think it was
no,
a.
but even without a field, it's still
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah.
some win trading. No, now sometimes you oversee something. You like you look at so many options, or maybe he thinks, okay, no, well maybe he wants him to do that so that he can take back by the outside, and it's like, okay, cool, you played your leader inside, but I took everything else outside, and you're not even making see. And
Oh,
actually, that's probably what the other one thinks too. Is like,
I
okay, if I
mean,
take in b4, it's going to take in c3, and I'm going to end up with no trinity. And if I
yeah. This
cannot take
is
back what he plays in c3, I'm screwed.
this mind game is above me.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
following
Sometimes
it.
that's one of the I was talking about the crabs and the knights, but
Yeah,
most of the time you build it up and you don't use it. You just leave it there, and then
yeah.
you go elsewhere. And it's about who has to break in it first, and then who can punish on the counterback.
I would have so taken my leaders directly to B4. But then again, I'm not at the top of the leaderboard, so.
Yeah, but once again, no, but it's classic. Do it if you want to do it, and once you will have done it 3 times and lost maybe a couple times, you'll be like, okay, maybe that's not such an obvious play. But
This
he
is a.
finds a really nice way to do it.
Yep, that
I know
looks
that
pretty.
was Bondix. Yeah, that was really nice.
Now, if he. Yeah.
It's 17-17, such a tight game.
Thing is, he has nowhere to play his leader now. There is nothing to synergize with.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. And he has all these little waters that are basically not taking anything.
Well, you can take that single
Air.
air, but
Oh,
it's
that
that will
single
take.
earth also
Well, I
goes.
mean,
But the problem in both instances, you create like affinity or trinity setup for your opponent, and you
yeah,
also have no wait, pretty tough, pretty
yeah,
tough.
this is not a great position here. Bondix.
I could just like widely slam his leader in b1, like whatever,
Mm,
just make some trinities again with all the AB lines,
yeah,
and just be
forcing.
like, okay, well, it's still a 850 light,
Yeah,
860,
this one,
870 dark, and
I don't understand this play. Okay, I mean now it's trying to tempt Bondix to do something, but
yeah.
not sure exactly
Yeah, I wasn't
what.
I'm not the most fan of this one either, but I guess maybe he doesn't want to lock in B1. He wants to be able to take the light later, if possible. And by the way, maybe if Marseille had a really small fire or really small nature, that would be a really sweet play in B1. I hope he has one, but it doesn't. And that's that wasn't so good. Why? Because it created Trinity back for our dear friend. So now we can take, of course, with the dark, but then Marseille can take back with the water, with the his fire just
Yep,
as well.
yep, 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 yep.
Hmm. Pretty tense game.
Bit mind game-ish.
Players taking their steps carefully. But like this board just takes back everything from everywhere. So it's
Yes,
kind
so
of
it's
it's a living time bomb, It's like,
yep, yep, yep. Have enough points.
and hopefully they have neutral mirror leaders, and that's actually, if you don't have neutral leader, they will not build such boards because people
Yeah,
are more careful.
I mean it's perfect for Marseille to try.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Right
mean,
now, like
basically Bondix
C3,
has to play in C2.
C3,
Yes,
C2. Sorry,
C2.
yes,
Yeah.
C2.
I mean, otherwise it's
Oh yeah,
just
that Sarah's gonna be hurtful.
that it's not.
And what can he play? He
I mean,
can play
he can.
a 475 water, or just field and dark, and just
Yeah, Field and Darkness and just
and
drop it
cross
in
your
there.
finger.
Yeah,
That's it. Sometimes you just need to cross your fingers and see what happens.
can
No,
see.
but it could. I don't know. Maybe if he takes in B1,
Yeah, I could do, but
it's B1 or
uh,
C2, and he has to calculate if like the downfall from when he
you want
takes
to.
in B1, what's the downfall on C2. And the
Yeah.
downfall on C2 is kind of hard. Oh no, it's not hard because the air is
Now it's
locked,
not
so
that bad
that's
actually.
good, but
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
he's gonna do it anyway because it
Yeah.
gives him like an infinity of trinities. Oh my god, so much. And it breaks a little bit of Trinity point, but not that much. Like Bondix is really farming like crazy, but he's slightly ahead, but he's
It's
player one and he has only uh, petite carte, les toutes petites cartes. Very, very small cards in hand, so I'm not sure it's gonna do it. Marseille is probably gonna be able to take back whatever he plays, just creating the extra necessary points.
probably not good. Well,
And Marseille
yeah.
has 2 minutes 19 to make the play. Okay, okay, Marseille wins. So we have a game
Marseille
three, which
wins.
I'm
Marseille
both.
wins.
Oh no, I was gonna say both player lost, but
Both players lost. Yes, exactly. Sorry about that.
so
That was good. We can. Yeah, that. I, yeah, I think. Yeah, that was. There were some interesting choices in that game, and I'm not sure. Yeah, that was.
yeah, it's games. I like how these players play. I would say, well, I'm not saying it's the good way, but that's kind of games I could have played them like that. It's there's some nice board reflection, board optimization, and well, we'll make mistakes, we'll make tough choices, and that doesn't matter. It matters like that you try to put the effort in each decision, and yeah, they're doing a pretty good job. 1-1. Uh, it's kind of games that could have gone both ways every time, and that actually shifted once or twice. Once again in this game, I was like, Marseille is gonna win. Then I was like, oh my god, Bondix is actually
You might.
coming back pretty well. And then okay, no, player two wins.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking here at Marseille. So now obviously he cannot play his fire again.
Okay, so that's no, so now we're finally on the dark on the light dark choice, the dark light coin flip.
Yep. So because they're both playing, and I mean,
Bondix playing
I,
first.
I I think we will have
Oh no,
darkness.
Marseille playing first. Mirror,
Uh,
darkness mirror.
yeah, I think we'll have a darkness mirror.
It's gonna be like you say. One is weak to the other. Nobody's gonna choose light.
Yeah, I mean that's way too
because
risky.
well, except if I didn't see the deck list, but if you see the light deck list is just like Earth and Air cards only, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's like 705 Sarash, 685 Water, 720 Nature. So yeah, the light and 665 dark. The light is not really well equipped to face a dark deck. So I think they at least Marseille is one. So it will definitely choose his dark deck,
Yes.
especially being on the play. So that's like and if Bondix has the same reflection, then it's gonna be Dark Mirror for sure. Yo, for sure. Which I
Sure.
think is kind of a Marseille 13 advantage because buffing fields of like opposing cards. Well, he doesn't play as much Dark as him, so it's mostly about the leader. But if he can use it well,
Yep. All right. This
and
time,
Arkhante could be one you want to put proactively. Okay, this
yeah.
time,
This time I managed to unclick one of the players, so hopefully they will be different now. Again.
okay.
All right, here we go. At least it's opposite, so yes, we should be good. So we did. Yeah, it's the darkness mirror. All right. See what we get. Doing there. All right. Okay.
Marseille on the play
And the play.
with Earth in the corner. It's a mirror.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, obviously one though is field and one is affinity, so it
Yeah.
gets a little bit interesting, a little bit more interesting.
And,
Playing
and the,
same.
the board building is gonna be crazy when they're both gonna try
Yeah,
to both do the same thing and not do the same thing at the same time.
exactly. Get the other one to do the first step so they can just slot in and harvest. But
And we see a very unusual turn two play, which could be,
yep,
not saying bad, I'm saying could be warranted in this matchup, but unusual. Um,
everybody tries to not make anything even resembling a trinity.
yeah, and now Bondix should attack what in C2. I don't think you want to take back in A1 because that's the classic stuff you don't want to do. And then
And you could
Marseille
play
loves
you
the
play the
rest
nature
already.
there. Yeah, you play the nature in the that one
Yeah,
because it doesn't have any connection with anything.
but then Marseille can lock his Earth card. Oh, he
True.
cannot because he played the
Uh,
smallest, why he can with a fire. See, and in that case, well, I try not to play the smallest in the corner because I like to lock with a smaller on top. So I would usually try to play like the mid low, the 475 or whatever, and keep the other low to put on top, or keeping the low cards can be really good to, in end game
yeah, that's
to
true.
create a lock. And sometimes you really need to be as low as possible because you're going to lock on the favorable advantage, and even 10 or 15 points can be really okay. So it doesn't, it keeps on building the board. Tifa is
Someone's
first.
gonna drop his darkness
So
leader.
yeah, the lock was bad, of course, because locking with this fire was not really interesting in terms of Trinity, and also he's player one, so he's quite happy to fill the board like that. It's very favorable as a board building to him. And he's indeed trying to maybe trick out something. But no, the Earth would have only one Trinity. Bondix maybe he has like all the big dudes are here. He's got all the big dudes. So yeah, you could play a big dude.
Yeah. How about playing the leader directly into B3? Aggressive opening, a little bit
Well, the
risky.
thing is, your leader is the only one that fits if you want to play big dude. The other ones are weak. But
Yeah,
then the problem is that you can only take it back with one card,
he
and
did it.
and that the problem is that mm, thing is like the Earth. I don't know, and I know the deck list. Maybe there's no Earth, but if you have an Earth take back, that puts your leader in double, and that's pretty hard. But
Well, he has his own
um,
715 to take back his Earth, take back his darkness. So
yeah, it's fair. It's fair. It's very fair.
bad.
Yeah, the problem is like
But now
you lead or losing, so that's
you probably just pay your 470, right? Darkness
645.
on top or something. Or he does. Okay, he did that to get the double.
Yeah, and it's gonna go down.
Yep, yep.
Get down on
Get
it.
his big.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard now.
Yeah,
But now he did it so he could take with his own leader on top, and he's also gonna take back the Earth. So
true.
like Marseille 13 is not completely out of
No, no.
sinking or out of resources. And but there is still a very massive Earth card that we know of in
Yeah.
Bondix's hands, which is gonna complicate his plans. And he has a see, and that's the problem. It's like it's really
Now
hard to
it's
go in
yes.
between. Like he has a 645 Earth in hand, which is kind of not a high card, kind of not a mid-range card. It's but the problem is when your game plan is only for 50s and then 700s, when is that 645 gonna come into play? It's kind of a bit raw to have just one like that. Oh no, but he also plays. I don't know. No, it doesn't. I don't know.
You think
If
Bondix is
it's gonna
gonna
happen.
lock his to protect his darkness? Because obviously at 710 he's
But
quite.
the actually the dark is in double trinity, so it's not even taken back by the earth, which is pretty good.
Yep.
So maybe a fire from Bondix, as you're saying, like
Yeah,
C3.
490. Oh,
Oh no,
oh.
it goes
What?
what kind
Oh,
of
okay.
similar.
All right, he's
Yeah,
going that
similar.
way instead. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
similar in a way, and kind of locks a lot of stuff. Only 3 points of Trinity though, which is not that much, and Marseille can lock much more right now with a nice fire or dark or
The
even
water.
nature. So it depends. It depends how he wants. Oh, wow!
Whoa. I guess he's protecting the earth there too. Well, I don't see.
So it doesn't take back with the nature.
Yeah.
What the thing is, you can fairly assume the leader is not going to be taken. Okay, but that could entice you to play a nature in B1 so that you give a double affinity to your Earth to protect it, for example.
Yeah.
Only put it to 655, and so it doesn't take the nature back still.
So
And I don't know, maybe thinking in terms of what it can take back, kind of like, okay, take my Earth, I can take it back with my nature, small play, or he's thinking, I have 4 points, he has 3 points right now, I'm ahead, so like you said, he's blocking so that it doesn't connect with a
yeah, I took that
big
one just to
wall.
break one of the trinities and make another one for yourself. But it's
Oh, nice. If he had a water in hand, that would have been genius play, in a way, but did it. But still, control. It's a pretty nice controlling play. It's like
mhm.
he was confident. It's rare to see it. That's why
I
he
mean
was
now
confident
we're
on,
very
on, on
close
on
here
his
now. Yeah.
position and on his takebacks, and he chose like to leave it go. And he's like, I have much better options to go over there. I'm not giving the 2 points of take back. No, that was very point efficient. That was micromanagement, like we said in StarCraft 2. Like it was micromanaging the points. And it's a game that needs it. As you can see, the point are really close. And like the 2 points of the Earth take back could be the 43 to 43 right now. So very well played.
Bondix
And he
probably have
doesn't
to
have big cards. He had very few big cards, but he well played his small options. And we have Bondix with like
probably have to
2000 of
go
powers in hand, which is pretty.
D4.
Yeah, he has to play
D1,
some
sorry.
strong.
D1. Are we going for D1?
He has to play a strong dude. He's afraid. I think he's afraid that there's something in front. Well, don't be afraid. There's nothing.
He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that.
It's either G1 or fire in C1 so that you can take back with your calyps on either side. It depends.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
depends the calcul that you've made, which I didn't make for him because I was too focused on Marseille's
Yeah, he went with the
game.
fire, which is, I think it's not a bad play at this point. It's not.
Yeah, but you have to calculate basically if when you do that and if he takes back, doesn't lock enough. Oh no, but he did it there.
Yep,
He
in the
did
D
it.
D1. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the point setup now? 46 to 51. Ooh, that was not a nice roll. Could have been in another world.
Yeah,
And
this
now it's kind of
is
screwed with.
scary because you could easily do 14 points here in one go.
I screwed now. Cannot take anything. Nothing takes. Oh yeah, the 645, yeah, it does take the Sarah. Sorry, I thought it was out of reach. But yeah, you have no other play then. You have zero
Yeah,
choice than to
and
do that. No, it's not taking. That's what I saw.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, no. You're missing 10, well, 15 points. Then you
Yeah.
drop the water, and yeah,
Yeah, that's it. So
it's game.
maybe not locking an extra point of Trinity over there. You know, you farm 5 while he farms only 3. Maybe that would have been more interesting. It was only a nature that could have created a Trinity in. Yeah, can you show the board again, maybe, please?
Yeah, yeah, it's coming. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, when he plays in D3, then at that point, Bondix has only 3 points of Trinity. He has 4. He could have gone up to 5. So of course, he could have taken the Earth spot back, but you know, only with a nature he could have made a Trinity extra for the Earth, and you could still take it back again. I don't know. Honestly, I think maybe that fire play was the bit of the
yeah,
downfall.
it was a weird play. I mean,
And he
obviously he
ended up,
didn't, but still,
yeah,
yeah,
because then he ends up the game up there. You don't want
yeah,
to end the game up there. You want to lock up there and end the game down there with the small card, with the card that your opponent already controls. You know, it's really nice to end the game while your opponent already controls everything because he's not going to be able to take back a lot of stuff. So I think he really should have, which is what he kind of did in the beginning, you know, and he stopped the train of thought, but patched up in B1 straight away and then fight that fight over there. But yeah, okay.
yeah,
Really nice games. I really
yeah.
enjoyed
It's
that.
good, good. All right,
G2 Bombix.
let's go to a short break, and then we'll come up for the
Final.
the,
Small final or final?
the small final, and
First and then the final.
exactly. All right,
All
we'll be back
right.
shortly. welcome back.
Eh,
And yeah, we're getting ready for the small final, or basically playing for third place. It's going to be As Bold versus Marseille 13.
all
And
right.
they're just, getting into the mindset again and getting ready
Yeah, they
for
need a little break. We
a
can
little bit
understand.
break.
Marseille surfing, playing like 3 tense game like that, having to come back on the ring like not only 2 minutes after, it's a bit tense. So,
Yeah,
you know,
so let's remind ourselves about Aspol's
yeah, deck list
deck
exactly.
list. We can jump over
And
to
we'll
that.
see. Okay, so we shift the
So,
banner in the power.
yeah, shift would be always interesting to see. That's always a mind bender.
Yeah. And like, do they keep it for like second or third game, or I don't know. But it's really nice that you actually see the opponent's lineup because it creates the possibility of all this mind game, which wouldn't be otherwise. I could see him starting with Power Mirror if he feels like the other. I think the other lineup has a clear game plan of always fire first, and then the choice between light and shadow that is pretty hard. So if the guy's gonna go fire first, I would either use my copy power or my shift dark, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, not
And
sure
then you
exactly.
can, and at least you can keep your nature that is neutral against both light and dark, so you have a pretty nice matchup. So yeah, clearly dark or copper power mirror first for easy ball. Then I feel like we're gonna see Marseille on the field influence again with
Yep.
this lovely sandwich. I just had happened to be at a point in the book when something really sad happened, and I'm really sad all the time when I think about this character.
I haven't really caught up on the second book
I
yet.
mean, like I'm not, I'm in the middle of the second, but I'm catching up quietly,
Yeah.
But this was kind of a blow.
Oh my.
I took another break, but I'm sure it's just a lie. It's like Game of Thrones and stuff. Nobody's really
Yes.
dead, and people are gonna come back and shit.
Nobody's
Oh,
dead,
sorry,
and then
and stuff.
everybody's dead. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. That's Thanos. That's more Marvel style, but
let's jump over to Marseille just to recap quickly. I think
so
I
this
saw.
affinity reinforcement, what does strong card does he have? There is 710 light, 680 water, and a 645 earth. So what is this for 645 earth here for? Just to fill up the to fill up the void because he has a 150 field. Ah, there's 710 calyps. So yeah, that's the for me this 645 is the classic symptom of I put all the small, I put all the big, now I have this amount left and I put it.
Yeah.
Usually when this happens to me, I don't put a 645. What I will do, I will put a mid-range card, like maybe I don't know, 550 or something, and use the power to tune my early my low cards power, try to create some pairs, which it you know did not really do too much, or just try to play the 505 instead of the 495 when it actually matters when some specific common matchup, just use this 100 power, because the 645, the problem is you build a game plan, you're going to start. So let's say you play min max, it's going to be only small card, then big cards, and then either you're going to be big cards to take the big cards, or the small cards can still be taken with small cards. So
Yeah.
a mid card doesn't accomplish anything at any moment, only if you're lucky enough to draw it like turn 4 in a favorable position that you cannot even really build around because it's Earth, so you cannot even take it back with your leader. So yeah, I'm not entirely fan of this 645. So I would advise, like, when you have this situation, you want to play min max, just try to tune in a little bit, or even putting a 65 field. I would have maybe like better, in
Mm.
water or something.
All right. I think
Uh,
our guys are ready to go.
let's go.
So let's see if they ready to go. So what do we think here now? Deck-wise, I think Marseille likes his fire, so he's probably going to start with that one.
Yeah,
And
and dark or air in front. We'll see.
Yeah.
From the previous game that we saw, I would, if I had to put a coin, I would put it on the Marseille 13, but
Mm,
different game, different player. Like now, AZ Ball had time to recover from the last game at least. So let's see.
let's see.
Who's first? Ekuba.
All right, AC Bald is
AZ
going
Ball.
first.
And he took the no fear. He took the nature leader. He's like, what? I've never heard of
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, exactly.
Nature's pretty humid, it doesn't take fire.
Forest burned. But yes, this is the standard opening.
Standard opening, especially in a counter leader matchup where you really don't want to, you know, increase the danger of that. As we
Yeah.
saw, like in some of the matchup, actually you want to start more aggressively or something. But this one, yeah.
Now
So
with the cards
yeah,
that Marseille have there, would you just drop the 460 in B1, or would you actually go for?
Ekuba, you mean is Ekuba's turn right now? Or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but now it's Marseille. Like, okay, does he? Ah,
okay,
well, now I guess he will. Okay, he went on the
so
water on that side.
on the
Yes.
water, yeah, it could have been the lights. Maybe it was feeling too dangerous. And the lights,
Yeah.
the guy takes it back, connects too easily. So Kuba second player. Kuba, yeah, would like to either take here or some people take on D2, but he's not afraid to create something. What's his plan? His plan.
Yeah, you can't.
A light somewhere?
Probably should draw because that's a little bit too many waters, right?
Yeah, still, and a lot of flow cards. Still,
Okay.
yeah, okay, he's doing it.
Yeah,
But
dude.
it's nice. I kind of like that in a way because we had before we had player who really looted all the time, like turn one,
Oh
turn
yeah, yeah,
two,
yeah.
constantly, and it was done. And now we see a more depth of choice, of
Yep, for
possible
sure.
options. Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be a light turn, but where do you put the light?
Hmm. That's not too bad because you don't
But
want
if I
to.
wait, yeah, exactly. You don't want to create the setup for the nature.
Exactly. But here now for well, maybe you do play the
Maybe he
nature.
could loot also once. Maybe
Yeah, he should probably.
he could loot. He could play a light in B3 because he's creating a trinity, even though can be
Yep,
dangerous.
he went for that.
He went for that. So it can be taken back as a pocket, and he's player one.
Yeah,
That can be dangerous. Now, on top of that, it doesn't have any trump card, so
but
even just a simple Sarah share could be fine. But he's playing on the assumption that his opponent is never going to do that, and that works most of the time. A lot of time players don't punish like they could because they're legitimately afraid of a take back.
yes.
Like, how could he do that if he cannot take it back? And you don't want to get blown out. But in fact, there was absolutely nothing. So he's not gonna want to create a pocket now. But the problem is that he's gonna have to find a solution out of them somehow. Maybe play a 460 triangle in B1, in B3-4. Eat that light, make a lot of stuff that cannot be taken too much. Because he's
This
a
one is.
heading point, so it's like I think it's a really good play to make. It's like solidifies the pocket and mm, and you hope that your opponent's gonna take back in c4 or whatever. Oh, he's doing it here.
All right, that's a
So
bold play.
yes, But if the opponent plays here, you play. Yeah, that's kind of a
So you probably have to you do your big light here now, Marseille, in the D3. Oh no, he went.
It goes with the fire. I think
Okay.
they can do. I'm not gonna say anything he wants, but I think the situation is really favorable for Marseille 13 right now. Yeah, it's got the double affinity on top of that.
Yeah.
So now the problem is the light doesn't take back the water. I mean, for such a play from Ekuba to be kind of good, it would have been if the water could have taken back the light so that you can actually take back yourself.
Yeah, if you had had a big water,
Yeah, something
that
like that. It
that you
wasn't too
could.
big, but
Yeah, but it needed to be a big one. But then you had the Earth, so you could have
oh yeah,
worked
on
off
top of
that.
that, yeah.
But he doesn't. I mean, yeah.
And what does he do now? I mean, if he had a water field, he's an earth field. It's not gonna do much. To water.
I mean,
Yes, I mean
base.
the board is so intricate. You know, it's like the air doesn't take back the light, the water doesn't take back the light neither. The water. Yeah, he's gonna do this kind of
Yeah, just to try to.
patch up play, and now
But that just open. Yeah, dropping the.
and now Marseille just play whatever he wants.
Yeah,
I was gonna say even the dark's gonna be fine.
yeah, because and then you can always take back the
It's gonna be
Earth
actually
above
it's pretty
later.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, and actually it doesn't take the earth so that
yeah. Doesn't open it
Ekuba
up.
cannot. Yep. And the fire tech is still as bad, and the water tech is still as bad, and or the Hydrolysis field none is mattering. That's yeah, I think he's pondering his options, which are very few.
Yeah, and then by playing at darkness here, you sort of
44.
open it up for Marseille to
Yeah,
take even more.
I think he's rightfully like forgetting about this game.
Yeah,
Maybe he's
it's
actually
finished.
trying to
Anyway,
make it so that
yeah.
Marseille makes 60 points as fast as possible. That's what I don't want to scoop, you know, I just do that. I was like, okay, play the best spot for you so that you can you know, some beautiful games you don't want to scoop them. Well, on top of that, there's like its coverage and everything, but so we'll feel that. Okay, Marseille 1-0. So
1-0. Yeah, I mean that wasn't too much to look at after that. That was quite straight. He just
so
managed
now
to.
he's gonna take nature again because
Yeah,
he's neutral against both.
probably, probably. It
And
seems
then
like a
he had what dark left
and
and
air. I mean,
and
he
that's
was.
good because now he take it actually maybe intentionally did that like he loses to fire takes it out of the equation. Now he brings his nature
Yeah,
wins against the next one, okay, because he's a neutral and let's say just wins, and then he knows like exactly. Oh no, it doesn't work. No. I actually it was because then he can choose. Because if next game, depending on what Marseille takes, if he takes the light, then he will have the dark left. Then he will take his copy air, and if he takes the dark, he will have the light left, and he will take his dark. So that actually a nice technical set to
yeah,
tactical setup for him.
yeah. That
But
might.
he needs to win with the nature first,
Yeah, first
and
he needs
that's
to.
the part of the plan. And then he has a counter leader for sure.
So he's facing these decks, yeah, here from Marseille. So yeah, what
So
is?
Marseille is going to be player 2. Is that correct?
Uh, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's always I always forget for my own game. So who was first? I don't know.
I think because
He opened in the
because he
no, I think Marseille was player 2.
yes, Marseille were player two
Yeah,
because
yes, it was. So
it finished now on yes.
yeah. So he's probably going to take his affinity reinforcement then.
Yes.
I would say. or maybe not. Maybe take the because the light deck is really not well set up for a dark matchup as we saw last time. So maybe it would be better to try and win with his light power stacking now, which actually has a fire, and
Yeah,
keep the dark after.
shall find out shortly. Guys are queued up, ready to start. So be
Yeah,
see.
nice quiet Sunday afternoon.
All right. Ah, he switched to air. Or
Okay,
no, no,
air.
sorry, he's playing his darkness. So darkness versus nature. So he kept his nature.
Yeah, he kept his nature and he took the darkness. Okay, cool.
Yep.
And Marseille's playing first. Oh my god, I'm getting
Yes.
good at this. Okay. Kuba's end already mulligan, two big guys, and one big guy in the 645 on the right. So much. The 645 cannot even take your leader with one affinity. It really doesn't make sense. The 645 is bothering me.
He was like, ah, it looks big. Let me take it, but it's not. Yeah, okay, halfway there.
Yeah,
So
halfway there.
they're missing 10 points.
Corner starts.
It would
Ekuba
make
likes
more.
that
It
starts,
would
no?
make more sense if it was a 655.
Mm, exactly. Exactly.
But maybe run out of points. It was that or nothing. So, but then again, we also know that there's going to be many darkness decks because everybody has to play a
Oh, yeah,
darkness.
yeah, yeah. So you wanted
So
to play with the.
basically, you have to almost have an earth card in every single deck.
Oh, that's true. Uh-huh.
And maybe that was
Or,
the
or air.
best it
But
could get
okay,
away
yeah, yeah.
with. And
It's true. It's true. It's true.
hoping that the other guy is not playing something 700 plus. Well, actually, you can't. Basically, it has to be 690, right? You can only beat 690s.
Yeah, if it's a dark leader, yeah, actually, maybe
Because
that's the
obviously,
best case.
yeah. All right, let's see what we're doing here.
So,
We're building lanes on each side and
yeah,
leaving the
building
middle.
a puzzles, always start by the corners and then you play the borders.
And say
Oh,
drops
a
in the first
nice
Trinity.
little water here.
Okay, he went straight
No,
for it.
straight for it. Oh, it's double, of course, of
Yeah,
course.
yep, yep, yep. It's a good position. I don't know. Maybe Marseille didn't see that one, or he
Yeah,
didn't
oh
think
yeah,
about it.
yeah, the plan to
Cause
come back from the bottom,
yeah, I
maybe.
think so. I
Because
think
like
he
if you put
just
the dark here, it goes up to the air, and you're like, okay, you played your leader, now we kind of save, but we have the big dark from Ekuba that's also going to take a big earth that will take the dark.
he's doing it anyway. Yeah,
He's doing it anyway. Okay, he's like,
stick to my plan.
yeah, and like he really shouldn't undervalue this matchup because he's gonna get a bad matchup on the next one. So it's really a match that he want
But now he's very vulnerable here,
to
but
work.
he
And
doesn't
yeah,
even know it.
yeah, what he guessed, kind of like 8-10 is not even something,
Yeah, that's really
And just
gambling.
any tremule will do the job.
And AC Ball is thinking like, did he really just leave it that open to me? Really?
Yeah, and
Can
actually,
it be
Ezebo
this?
doesn't even need to take it. You could just as fine taking B3, and that would really, you know, then Marseille would have to take from B4, and you can take again from
Yeah.
B2, B3.
And the question is obviously now, I guess the debate is now if he's gonna do it with the earth or the air.
Yeah, on the air,
He went with the air,
which has the extra affinity.
which protects him quite well because if he went with the
Makes
earth,
sense.
then Marseille had
And
the
also, he knows his opponent's deck, and probably knows there's this big nature card. So it's like, I'm
yeah,
safer with an
true,
air card.
true, true.
So, ooh,
All
that was
right.
a sweet draw from Marseille's Trez.
Yeah, that sort of helped.
Oh
That
yeah,
that got big. That got big.
yeah, and yeah, he also knows that he has a big water in his deck. So,
Yeah, that was a very good draw.
See the TCG
Well, I
side.
mean, at this point, it really didn't matter actually because he had both the water and the nature, so he could have taken both his earth and I mean, he didn't have the water before he played it, so it was quite. But
Yeah.
yeah, but then in the end, he got both of them.
And now
Yikes!
Ikuba is like, no. Actually, for
No.
this one, it's I'm not gonna say unfair, but Ikuba kind of started a better pass, a better game plan, and was kind of crushed
Yep, by some
by
RNG and
this. But could
Marseille
have been.
drawing his big
Marseille
calypso.
might have played around this, in a way, like if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
that I will draw this card, or maybe as a big light too, probably that it could have worked very well. It seems like I have two outs, and it's playing your outs. It's like poker. It's like card game.
yeah.
It's playing your outs. You have these outs, and I don't think he needed to play them that much right now, but but he did play them. Okay, so Earth here, so making the
Water
water
really, really big.
really, really big, and being able to go
Yeah,
back
I mean,
and choose
he's
Earth.
locked stuff in now. I don't think
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he
Easy
has the
Ball
nature
can
to take back
make enough points.
1P2. No, 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 it's completely safe. Is completely safe, and we would have Marseille Tres taking the third spot of this tournament with
Yep.
the little cash prize difference that it includes.
Oh, yes, and some more
And the fame of being on the podium.
and some more shards as well. We have all the shards for the
Oh, yeah,
Solis
sure.
and the
The
Argonaut. So
Argonaut.
yes,
Who doesn't want a Solis?
yes, those shards are still going quite a lot. Just the
Yeah.
shards for Solis.
How much is it? One shot?
I don't know exactly what it is now, but I sold a bunch when it was 14. I'm not gonna get 20, so let me just cash in on this now. So,
Makes sense.
but yeah, well, good game, but this one is in Marseille.
Yep. It's not probably not exactly the lock that I would have done, but probably would have played in A3, but it's okay.
Yeah,
It's not gonna matter. Sorry. All right.
it's going to matter. Oh, there we go. All right, let's.
GG Marseille.
Yes.
C'est
So
Marseille, baby.
have the big final coming up between
Yeah, and players
Bondix
are
and
trying to.
Aracas. And we'll go on a short break and we'll be back. We'll be back. All right, welcome back. We're getting ready here now for the final, which is going to be a best of five, which means that obviously our two players, Bondix and Arcas, will be one of them will be playing winning with all their decks, and so
Oh yeah, nice.
let's just
Total
have
domination.
exactly. Let's just have a quick check on where we are with the whole bracket. Obviously, we know where we are, and we had Marseille just winning with 2-0 against AC Bold, but so we'll
And when
uh,
you know you're gonna have to play all the decks, even a bigger mind game about which deck to play first. And so I think even more than ever, Arakas is gonna respect his Sarash first.
yeah, let's go back to that. So who we want? Let's go to Aracas. Let's show
Let's go.
Aracas deck. Hold on.
Oh, I
Go.
need to. Oh no, Arakas was on the banner. Okay, sorry. So can we find a similar stuff here? So if he goes with water first, then there's a choice between dark and earth. Water, at least he has three Arkhams that are close to each other, and the one in the middle is dark. So I think if there is just a theoretical choice that does not take into account your opponent's deck list, it's going to be banner first.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
But yeah, dark banner first, but depends on what's in front. And we see a much better use of the field here. Aracas is like 110, 65, 65, 130 there, 265 there, which is pretty nice. I like doing that. Like the fields are pretty cheap to play a bit heavier, and once again it's like the 645 that wasn't doing anything in that last deck. You could just easily up your fields. And just having this 15 is such a mental barrier that is so strong because everybody calculates with a 50 field. Like
Yeah.
most people play a 50 field, and when you even yourself think about it, when you actually calculate if he has a field, okay, you're going to say if it's 50 because first of all it's the only known information you can get, and it's the most common one. So just having the 65 field, they would just go such a long way.
Yeah, looking then at yeah, it looks like Aracas is doing a little bit more fancy stuff. He has a little bit more diversity in his not just the 50, so it's interesting stuff. Then versus if we skip over to Bondix, you can see
Much
that
more
he's
stock.
yeah, all stock 50 fields.
50 field and the 1 and 10 when they matter, 120. He's not afraid to go like really big in the field influence, of course, makes sense. And but just really big, it didn't go for the 130 or whatever, which makes sense, it's already good to have two strong fields like that. And the power stacking still, yeah, he wants the 120 field to make sure the impact is felt, but in the field, in the power stacking deck, there's only one light count, so a lot of dedication
Yeah,
for your leader. And yeah, as we saw in the power mirror, that is with only a 50 field, which this is pretty uncanny, but could be justified in this matter. So should we start with the air deck and keep the light dark
probably,
choice for after also? So that
probably.
would be, yeah.
But you see here, I mean, Bondix is he's playing with his 715 Earth in all decks. It's
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not easy to have one. I don't have one. So it's like if I had one, I have an old 720 that tends to end up in a lot of my decks too.
yeah.
I,
Well, I
I
mean,
can
now it
understand.
makes extra sense because we know that everybody's gonna have a darkness deck, so
Oh
just
yeah, yeah. Also, yeah,
taking
it's
the
true.
precaution of having the Earth, the biggest Earth, well, not the
In all
biggest, but
decks.
almost the biggest Earth you can get. All
Yeah, we can see it so often an Earth card because it's really harder to get a high air card.
yes.
Like such a high air card.
Let's see.
Cool. Yeah,
Right,
actually,
I think we're
maybe if I was them, I would roll a dice and choose and let fate choose my
let's
first
fate.
deck and break the mind game. It's like who's that? Is Luffy has to beat a guy that reads the future? and start to just act at random, so that nobody can read the future because even he doesn't know it. It's like, okay, prep the mind game.
All right. All right, they should be just ready to go now.
I don't know. It reminds me of that Metal Gear Solid boss that you had to beat. Same, he was reading your mind. He was reading every move you were making with the control pad. And the way to beat it was to unplug your pad and plug it into the second player socket. Because the evil guy could only read the first player socket,
I
and you had to
see.
guess that on your own. There was no indication of that except like books that you bought in the press, of course.
Yeah. That's
My God,
some
can you
good
imagine?
good
Like,
stuff.
you would do that today. I don't think people would just
Oh
bother. Like,
yeah.
what is
Well, I
this
mean,
game? It's broken. I'll just change games.
but the thing is that people would just Google it and then it would be known
Yeah,
five
it's true.
minutes after. Whereas
It's true. It's
obviously
true.
back in the day, you had to wait
Uh,
for the magazine to come out. There was no, unless you were
yeah.
really hardcore and figured it out yourself. But yeah.
And the
So
Japanese customer are really eager for difficulty and complexity. Like in one of the Final Fantasy, to finish it, you have to be in a field where there's like lightnings that go at random between like 10 seconds to 2 minutes, and you have to press X exactly when the lightning flashes. Okay, whenever you lose, it resets, and you have to do it like 100 or 200 times. Like the people who do it spend about 8 hours to do it, and that's just there in the game, just for your own pleasure.
uh,
It's crazy.
that's all right, we're just waiting for one of the players. Just had to do something, but we should be terribly starting.
Final Fantasy, kind of, part of the origin of this game, the triple triad game that Sammy loved so much and always wanted to, exploit in a way, make bigger, or because it was a really simple game.
Yeah.
Probably, I like to believe that's kind of attracted Square Enix with us in the project. Kind of the emotional thread.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Ooh.
Okay, great final. Who's play first?
I think we have left side plays first, whoever that is.
Okay,
Bondix
Bondix.
playing first.
So light versus earth.
Yeah, that was
I
I don't
think
know.
players are trying to play their worst deck first to kind of, no, it's true
I mean,
because
if you can get a win on your worst deck first,
yeah.
you're set because you have to win with all your decks. So yeah,
So mirror of affinity stack, power stacking, classic start. Those players. So we have Aracast with an empty end and Bondix with a no, the opposite. Bondix with an empty end, and Aracast now drew an extra light. So what
LC. I mean,
could he start?
yeah, we started the classic little
So
lock there with the
yeah,
same.
little pair. Yeah, fancy little pair that you kind of have to break through the earth, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, so it's kind of gonna have to play a nature, but it doesn't want to play nature because it attracts the light. But
Yep.
it attracts the light without Trinity. And honestly, when you play Earth as a leader, I'm not even sure the light's going to be attracted, especially when we know Bondix ends, which has absolutely nothing else in it. So it's probably going to be a 460 light, just casually. But 460 light, pretty dangerous. Expose yourself to a knight for fire.
Yep.
Oh no, because the light's going to be too small to take the water. So that's still fine.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it's not going to be too small. No, it is. They
No,
both have two
well, no,
affinities.
he will get two
Yeah, they
affinities.
both
Yes.
will have two. Okay. Way to create momentum. Oh my god.
Yep.
It's taking. No, it's not taking. Okay,
He
so I
went with
guess.
to create a trinity instead.
Okay. But now the earth can take the water, but only through chain, which is not gonna happen.
Yeah, you
Or
need to
could
play your
happen.
leader first, so that seems
Yeah.
unlikely.
No. That's not happening. So now we can have a strong light play. Just not be afraid, just push it
He
there.
could also do the fire.
It could do the fire. I would say might want to keep it for the leader, but
Yes.
also as I said earlier, sometimes securing a strong play is really nice as well as countering. It's like just as much advantage. Positive is and negative are two parts of an equation. But the problem is that we know that we drew Earth, but it doesn't. Like if you play the fire, the Earth will always have an affinity.
Or you just go with a
I don't know.
light. You go with a light, you get a Trinity, but it's not. I don't know.
Well, there's no Trinity, and you're player two. You could even play in A1 or something. Yeah, you could have played in A2. Sorry, something just really random,
Get that, but things are
making the Trinity.
quite
Okay,
open.
that's pretty nice. Pretty nice play. I like it.
But then you
Let's see.
go. Will he go for making a pocket? Well, he doesn't want to open a
It's a
pocket there
pretty
now.
open play. You can still take back from many sides, so
Yep.
that's pretty cool.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, he's first player, so he doesn't want to accidentally create more pockets unless you really have
Yeah,
to.
exactly. So now,
That's not a bad play here.
you could be tempted by a dark there.
Maybe.
Would be dangerous, we know, but could be tempted. Or the other solution would be to play the dark maybe in a3 so that you can take it back with your leader on the swing back. But then it will most likely lock a trinity and downstairs, so that's not so good.
Yeah, no, that's a little bit too dangerous.
That's not so good.
Because
Like,
Arrakis knows that Bondix does have a big Earth,
it
but
doesn't have
obviously you did doesn't mean that you have it in your hand, obviously. So,
obviously.
but we
It's
know
not
that
the
he has.
easiest play. Maybe you should loot also. Maybe he has two loot.
Yeah, but he
I think
has.
this nature card has overdone its stay, but it's not
He did
okay.
it anyway. This
He's
seems
going with the
very
fire.
risky. So, well, the fire at least there. It's not that bad. Probably player Earth. So
Like
it's
ideally, like he didn't loot either. I mean, what is happening? His hand is full of complete garbage. He should loot at least
yeah.
one.
Bondix should
Because now I don't know, like if he had a,
get rid of the
I don't know,
460 one, yeah, at
a
least.
good dark card, a good something. There's so many, you know, good draws that he could have. That would optimize this spot here, but he doesn't have anything really good to optimize the spot right now. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
doing the minimum
Yeah.
optimization, which is not even that nice because your opponent says exactly the same. And
You
he
do
still
lock up
didn't
a little
loot.
bit there, but yeah.
And now he can lock above the fire and the air doesn't go back into the light.
But
And
you didn't break your opponent's Trinity, so
yeah,
you're
that's it.
not. I mean, it's
It's
yeah.
not good. It's not productive. It's not.
Now
And
he
now
locked
yeah,
up
he
even
locks
more
here.
there, so now it's like
Exactly.
really screwed.
And it's on pair with the dark one. It's really
Yes.
good.
But now he basically has to play in C2 to do any type of
Yeah.
damage. But he doesn't.
And now he loots. And C2
Yeah.
is gonna be either the leader or the earth.
Earth. You could do the Earth, I guess.
Could do the earth. Could do the earth. You could do the light. They both have only one affinity.
Because that
Depends. Like he's
darkness.
still playing the control game, so he's thinking maybe level one.
Hmm. Okay. You're
What
not.
is?
You're
Oh
still
yeah, it's taking from that side, of course. Yeah, it's still down. Still not getting enough points back. And now
costing you a bit.
he could even lock. He can even lock his air card now if he wants to. With, for example, an extra nature. Extra nature. Is farming 4 point versus. Still having
Arcas.
a loot. Still having two loot for Araka. I think I don't know.
Hmm. Will he play the? Maybe he'll play the nature here now.
Yeah, the one that
485
he
one.
didn't loot forever. Yeah, that would be a really good, showing me that's why he didn't loot.
It's not a
But
bad one
I
here
think
in B1.
I think the nature would be fine. Yeah, or in B1 or in C1 you could play it too. Or it's going with a light card. Why? A light card with no affinity.
Yeah, but he knows also that. No, I don't know why he did that. Yeah.
Well, he knows there's a big earth in front, so it's like
Yes.
either you have to throw your unprotected leader or your bigger is not gonna take, and it's kind of rewarded. But then he also threw away his answer to a big earth. 200. So no, the Coco Pelli is not going. Actually, it's a 370. No, it's going to 800. The Coco Pelli is going up to 800, so that's not enough. What has happened in this game?
uh, because he can't go too deep because he doesn't have his leader on the board. Yeah.
It's kind of looking something. And now he's losing by this player too, so he thinks like, okay, I'm gonna win. But now if Bondix has the right
But he can't.
stuff to bluff, which he doesn't, it's a shame to
Yeah.
not loot all the game and still not have a good stuff to lock your board at the end. I hope he's gonna loot now. It's the last turn of the game. Yeah.
I guess. Ah, yeah, because he's sitting on his darkness as well there.
There's nothing that doesn't lock. Oh yeah, the light. The
I
light.
think you play the
No, no.
500 light, right?
Oh yeah, the light does lock
Yes.
because it goes 600 and the Coco Pelli is
But you're not taking anything. You're not making any.
650.
I mean,
Yeah, but your upper point. I mean, if your opponent doesn't have an
yeah, and
air,
you get
which
another.
he doesn't, and actually Araka still has two loots.
Yeah. Bondix can do this.
Two loots when we are the last turn of the game.
No, don't do that. Oh, okay.
He chooses to take, and now he's gonna lose to
Oh
this
no,
big
that's
guy.
enough. It's enough. It's
Ah,
enough.
that's enough points. Oh, we
There
didn't
was a
lose.
lot of.
Okay.
There was a lot of.
Ooh. So that's 1-1?
This was
Yeah,
the first one.
1-1, yeah.
No, this was
Oh
the
no, it
first
was the
match.
first one. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, it's not that
So
way. Okay, so
Bondix won.
Bondix wins. Wow, very tight game. Once again, some, it's not mistake, but small play that didn't think in the right way that gets optimized too much and tack, tack, tack. Once again, a game that I could have seen go in different directions at different stage.
Yep.
So the Solis is locked from Bondix, so we will have to choose between this
And I think he's
Coquito.
pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's gonna take air. I don't know if the Earth is slammed again, then dark would be bad. At least air is neutral. And knowing that is air and dark in front, is he gonna take water? No. Is he gonna take earth? Maybe. Is he gonna take dark? No. He's certainly not gonna take dark, which is only like neutral or weak. Aracas is not gonna take dark. Aracas might take earth or water, depending.
Yeah. I mean,
He's going on the man game again.
will Aracas stay? Will he stay on the Earth?
You can say that they,
I mean, now it's pretty safe to stay on the Earth.
well, there is a it's neutral or strong, exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
it's
So
and then depending on what you beat, yeah.
so he probably
It's strong.
should do that.
But the
But
thing is, like in the Earth deck, the strong cards, like you have a big dark, which is weak and neutral. You have a big fire, which is double neutral. You have a big light, which is weak and strong. Big nature, which is weak and neutral. So actually, the leader is good, but the lineup of cards is not that great against
hmm.
dark deck. But
And now Aracas is going first as well, I think. Bondix was playing first, right?
Mm, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Line up the
We'll see.
next
Yeah, yeah.
set of games.
Manafil to not in any rush to play a field deck because we know that there was not a lot of field played by Bondix.
Yep.
It's funny this game. What a funny game.
It was a little. I thought Marseille had it. Sorry, I thought Aracas had it there, but all right, they
Me too.
switched around.
Okay, mind game won by Bondix? No, by Arcas. Arcas the water, yeah.
Aracas should be
The
playing
top
first.
button.
I think if it's yep,
Arcas, yes, plus first with water.
but oh, with
So
water. So yeah,
leader
okay.
advantage. Leader advantage, and it's a good thing because then it's one of the last deck is dark, so you do want to
You want to get
validate
that
your
out of the way,
water deck
yes.
now.
Yes, that is true.
Maybe that's why you took it.
Yes, yes. Let's see.
Okay, nature. I would not start with an Archon that does nothing with my leader. When I have some, I would clearly have chosen a lighter air card, but
Traditional sort of opening spread.
yeah, Bondix more traditional. And now, mm, once again, I prefer the opposite. When you play against your own card, make it the stronger in the corner so that you can
Yep.
eventually lock it.
Normally you should be.
But now, if you can play a dark on top of the nature, you can still lock it because it's giving two affinities to his nature, which I think should be the logical follow up to his first play. So we know the not looting part is not only a decision because last game he finished with like one loot or two loot, so there might be something else. Maybe he's playing on mobile and he cannot.
Building a little thing there in the corner. So
Yeah,
that I mean, yeah, that's what you said. Then you get the darkness there, and you protect the nature
yeah.
on the
If your
inside.
opponent
And
didn't rush on the light,
yeah,
might as well get the opportunity. He was focused on building his pair, which is fair.
yeah. But yeah, Bondix need to. And we'll see. Is he gonna? Can he do anything there? So I mean, he would have to go quite high to do any real damage there.
Yeah, Bondix he could take in B2. He has the position, he's player two, he's creating the a kind of good board position. He also have the affinity in attack with his pair. So he has a favorable spot to take B2 in general. Now he doesn't have a really good card to do it efficiently. That is not
Went for
like
the
his
Trinity
Sarash,
instead.
basically.
He went for the Trinity instead.
Makes sense. Well, could make sense. Uh,
They're both building a little bit of their own board. Let's see, will Darakas let him continue, or is he gonna go on the attack?
so, yeah, what could he do? He could slam a light, for example. The light would create some trinities, and then it could be taken by a fire that would have only one affinity. So that's not the worst. I think you do want to create at least a part of those trinities, even if it's taking with a water and D4, for example. But the
Yeah,
problem is he doesn't have his own affinity. Like, that would be a good point if you had your own affinity going on. But since you
but he
don't,
doesn't. Well, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have at all anything.
no. Once again, as player one, you kind of want to create a pocket trinity and try to fight it. So, like, he would play in B3, Bondix would play in B2 somehow, we would play in C3, and you just have to. The good stuff he does this other play. When you have the leader advantage, at some point you're going to make a play that's going to dig. and the opponent is not going to dig as much. And you
Yeah.
can use that, for example, if he had been able to play his leader in c3, well, when he's even if he's taken back, then it's not going to dig that much, and he's going to keep the bottom position.
Yes. Well, let's see. Gonna do.
Bondix wants at least to get back. I think Bondix would play a dark in d2, yeah, in d3, just playing this game. He likes to play this game as player one. No, he's player two, even as player two. Well, it depends. Well, no, because he doesn't have the leader advantage as player two, so it's not as good. Uh, it's not as good. It could backfire to his face at some point, especially with when c3 can take back on d3, can take back on the inside. You can always get blown by the outside, so that's it's a bit of a dangerous game, but there is still no affinity created by Arrakis on the take back.
Just breaking it. It's always a dangerous
Keeping
play.
things neutral, yeah. Maybe he wants to, wants to create a big blowout. He wants to make sure that the board takes everything back again and create a big blowout at some point.
Well, yeah, Bondix does set up a little bit of a pocket
Well, the
there
earth
at the
stake is
top.
pretty sweet here. Could you not just jam a big light there? No, it's only one affinity. It's a bit tight. I do want to jam something kind of in this. I could loot also, maybe to have more options.
Yeah.
But or the fire in B2, fire in B2, kind of unconventional,
Yeah, it's big enough.
but it can be taken
Big
back
enough.
by water.
He went with the light there, yeah, which
Even with
wasn't
the light,
that bad, but it's not
it's not
bad.
bad. It's a bit, he's counting on the fact that he has positive leader to do that.
Yeah, he has the fire as a response.
But yeah, the spot is not that sexy. It's a spot that could fire back pretty easily. So
But
you you kind of use the fact that
I
he's
think
not going to be able to chain.
Bondix probably have to play his fire here now just to make
Yeah,
his
no, he's going
leader
to go.
available as big. Otherwise, he's gonna lose the.
Yeah, he's going to have to chain at some point. Like, otherwise, he's going to. So of
So
course the fire is in this corner, and now he has his fire with double. Oh no, it's not double affinity. Wow, is it really good?
I mean,
It's kind of questionable in a
I
way.
think this is actually pretty good for Bondix.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, he has the big earth on top of that. Like
Yeah,
if somehow the fire could have been in double affinity after display, why not? But right now, and like
yeah,
still has two loot. My God, he could have a water field that something like a 130 water field here, for example, or something like that would be insane.
yep. So you could have taken the light safely. Yeah, that would have. Yep, and then you set it up for Bondix to just.
Yeah, it's just doing it, and Bolix is just gonna do it too. Staying
But it's not
inside the leader. Okay, but
super ideal because you haven't played your leader, so you don't have
yeah, still
as
pretty.
much reach as you could have
Yeah, no,
hoped
because you're
for.
not taking the nature. But you're still. Oh, he's way behind actually. He's way
Yeah,
behind.
this is actually quite problematic.
Ah, interesting. And if you take with the air, doesn't take much.
Yeah, I mean you
Okay.
have to play the Earth, I think.
Yeah, Arakas was ahead in points.
Yes,
That's why you could do this play. It's right. I kind of forgot to check the points. Nice.
he has to play there, but it
Nice,
doesn't.
but he still has to play it. Yeah. Yeah, at least it doesn't even break any trinities. The trinities on the other side.
Oh, he'll break one. He'll break the
Oh yeah, the light. Yeah,
light nature, but on the other side, yeah, that still stays.
it doesn't have a shield.
So that's
That's
pricey.
nice. Okay.
Aracas is probably
Arrakis.
has this one. I don't think.
Man, those games, we change of shirts every 2 minutes, you know.
Yeah,
Go Bondix, now go Arrakis, now go Bondix.
I think he realizes that this was he walked into a little bit of
Yeah,
a.
a trap. The point advantage was too big, was too, like, basically they both farmed a lot of points when there was already like a 10
I mean, he will
slash 15.
still flip 8 points
Yeah,
just for
but then
flipping.
there's 5 points
Well,
of Trinity continue
it's just gonna be
being farmed. Six
6.
points of Trinity being farmed by
Yeah,
Arrakis is just insane. While he farms zero.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's nonsense. And now you just play anything to lock your light, and that's finished.
yeah. That's all you need to do.
Your light, your water, sorry.
Yeah, there's
Anything to
nothing.
lock your water.
All right,
Okay, so we have the 1-1. You know, I was
1-1.
just seeing in the future last game, sorry. And okay, 1-1.
Okay.
So now we
Yeah,
have
there wasn't much else that. I mean, this did
the water
get
deck is
settled there.
happily locked
Yep.
by Arrakis, and the
So that's a
light
good.
deck from Bondix is locked.
Yep.
So
Will he go back to
Bondix,
his Earth deck now? Probably.
so yeah, would make sense because now it's dark or air, so you're
Yep.
neutral or strong.
Because the
And knowing
alternative
that
is he could go for
Bondix,
his darkness as well, but it's probably not worth the risk.
so knowing that Bondix is going to keep the air, and
Then it's gonna be a darkness
yeah, there's no
eventually.
mind game to do. There's no mind game to do because the other deck is dark, so there's no even advantage to take. I think it's just going to be straight copy power versus power stacking in this next game.
Yep. Let's have a look at them. Yeah. So it's the
Because the
Earth and the
dark is
darkness.
like dark is going to be weak or neutral, and Earth strong or neutral, and then but then also on the other side, he's gonna have to keep. He could want to keep his copy power for the last dark leader in a way, and try to and think like, okay, I have to, lock this dark right now because he's also going to be on the play, and his dark is uh affinity reinforcement, right? Power
The
field,
the other one
field
is
influence. Yeah,
yeah.
field
So
influence is kind of a nice play deck. And in front is a 665 tumult, it's not exactly the hottest card in town. But you also have only a 710, 715 with the buff, so that's cool. You're just ahead of like in early game. Okay, now maybe you could think because the problem is if you take the copy power now against the Earth, no, it's a dark mirror there behind. No, okay, no. I think there's no reason to be funny here. No reason to be funny. We always like a good reason to be funny, and do some weird stuff, but no.
well, let's see what they pick. Let's see what this time. Be.
Yeah, so players are going to qualify for a 256 online tournament that will be held. I don't know if the date has been announced yet, but early enough so that people can make their arrangement if they qualify. Because indeed, the top 64 of this 256 tournament will be qualified and flown into France, Marseille, for the
Yeah.
Heroes Legacy tournament, which is an end of tournament massive event with $100,000 in cash prize. People will take a minimum of $500 once they are here, and once again the flight is paid, so our Japanese friends are not gonna have to go 3,000 euros out of their pockets to come and maybe win 500. They love the game, but we all have life. So yeah,
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. It's sort of the
Exciting.
World Championship, or yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see what happens.
exactly. Kind of end of season tournament, whatever. It's like the first year things are shaping up, so there's no like series going on yet. But once the rhythm will get in place, I'm sure we'll.
Yep. Then all the players will be playing with the new cards as well, obviously.
Yes,
So that's going to be
and yeah, it's
interesting.
gonna be nice. We're gonna see like the deck building is gonna be really
Well, I guess
much deeper, much better.
we'll have a lot more options.
Yeah, in a way, I kind of like to make this analogy. It's kind of like we're playing with a card deck right now, a 52 card deck, but there's some like threes missing from like the hearts, or there's like the seven of spades missing and stuff like that. And we're gonna get the some of the missing elements, and be able to play with a complete deck. Okay, game three of this final. Earth versus air. No reason to be funny.
All right, Bondix starting, and he kept his air, and Arakas went with his earth. Okay, all right.
Politics right now has been really regular in all his games. Arakas, I've seen him make some, I feel, really good games, and game where he played a little bit subpar. Bondix has been incredibly consistent in his gameplay and the choices he makes and the openings and stuff. It's really nice to see him.
Stuff.
So light opening in the corner from Bondix, pretty fine. Arkham wise, always a just choice of Arkham,
I mean,
it's
it's an
nice.
interesting choice to start at 500, so I'm not sure what he's.
Well, probably, that's where either he wants to play the big one to be able to lock it on top, or he doesn't
Yeah,
have that many small cards, and he prefers to play a bit stronger but of the correct
gonna do
Arkham
the
and less
nature
power.
485, or no, he went with the water instead. Okay,
Similar,
yeah,
kind of
yep,
similar.
yep, yep.
See, that's the kind of building you like to do. Strong at the back, on top, and then when you create a board where it cannot be taken from the outside to the inside, you're kind of usually in a good position.
Yeah, he went with that to lock in the
Of
Trinity right
course.
away, but obviously it's courageous.
So we've seen Bondix looting a little
Now
more now.
Bondix has a little bit of a because you want to take all this back, right? Without.
Well, you at least want to take the fire, and you could want to take it from D2, for example.
Yeah,
You're not in a rush to fight for the Trinity point right now. It's not yet a state where it's a matter of life and death.
unless you want to go for the water above the fire to do the Trinity to force someone to play in C2 and then hoping that you can have something. Or he went with that. Okay, he went there. Yeah, that works as well. Do that way.
Yeah, that's you know it kind of counters the start of the build because now you can be taken back from the outside, but that's why I kind of like taking from D2 in this spot and maybe make your opponents make that play.
Yeah, and this 595 is a
Because
pretty
once again,
good.
now the opponent could take in D2, and I'm not sure
True.
that's something.
Yeah,
No,
we will
okay.
go for the D2
He
there.
takes in G2, so he's gonna take back probably with the small dark.
Yep, all darkness.
Oh, or a big one. No,
It's
it's
only
Bondix now,
one.
so it's
It's only one
yeah, it's
Trinity,
only
so
one.
you don't
It's
want
only
to.
one. It's Earth in front. No, no, that's not bad.
And it's
It's
air
a
as well, so probably just a small one. But you're not going to get all the way down to the light, so the light will.
no. That's the problem.
Yep.
That's the problem. Yeah, yeah. That's
But you kind of have to.
kind of have to. But the thing is, the right column is more important because that's where the
Mm.
stuff is built and that's where it's stacked. So you kind of want to be the one like taking control, deciding what's going to happen in the back one, and let your opponent take back from the front one. That's why like if you think of the position, it could have been like you switch the possession of the two waters, and it would have been much more favorable to take back from that point of view. And maybe you could even have left the C3 water to the guy, not even take it back, so that you can Just plunge back in the back column with another light, maybe also. But yeah, now does have to break the Trinity somehow. And I would once again take from D1, probably with the
Oh,
dark.
he went with a big.
He plays with the big one. Sure, yeah, he wants to set up something. You know, he has the field, but like the problem is the Earth is going to be in affinity, so it's going to be A10. It's kind of making one of those play like, I have it. Are you going to take? Because I have it.
I
Or
think.
you could just take with a dark in B3. It's kind of a
Yeah, exactly. In B3,
also
probably,
pretty
right?
very decent play, you know, and with a very small card, you will have neglected a lot of power, while as well setting up your leader and taking out your opponent's leader of the equation. So but we see Araka's hands pretty stacked up.
Oh,
Pretty
yes.
stacked up with pretty relevant Arcoms.
Oh, yes.
He can set up stuff how he wants. He can answer whatever he wants. So uh,
But basically, if he wants to, I mean, he could, yeah, he could go with
pretty big difference.
just
And see,
big
this
light
is
as well. Because he put big light in B3. And
well, yeah, yeah, he doesn't even have to run into the trap exactly. Because the light he can take it back on two ends by his dark. So yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty nice. Also, yeah, he doesn't and actually he was the one who set a similar trap to Bondix last game, so maybe it would be wise not to fall into it. But it's true that to start the game Bondix started, you kinda like to have a few answers in hand because
unless you
if you don't
just,
have the correct one, you're
oh,
gonna
he
be
went there
really
instead. Okay,
you went there. Okay.
this works too.
It works, but it kind of leaves the fire affinities, and I'm not too fan of. But it works. And we see Bondix looting. Bondix might want to play a dark in B3 somehow, try to catch up
And then I guess,
because it doesn't have a good take back sadly for the light, so it's gonna have to abandon that position.
yeah, I guess just
Oh
protect
wow!
it. He just protected it, yeah.
Oh wow! But protect from what? And you're losing 4 points a turn? No, that's no way. No way. It's a game-winning play. Well, that's over for Bondix.
Yeah, I
Completely
mean now
over.
the points. I mean it's
It's
completely
finished.
locked up 4 points there in the back, 5 points
He could not
permanently.
do that C1 play. That's finished. At least with the dark, maybe, you know.
I
Well,
mean, yeah, Arrakis doesn't care. He's just like,
no,
yeah, do whatever you
the,
want. It doesn't matter
the,
at this point.
see, what did you play the 475 dark here, for example? At least make 4 points of Trinity, you know? 475 Earth
I mean,
instead of the
now he
dark.
drops the big dark. I mean, it's like, yeah. I think
Okay.
Bondix just tilted a little bit there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just give up a game,
It's
focus
like,
on the
ah,
next one. Yeah, that's fine too, you know. So 2-1 for Arakas. Poo poo
yes,
poo. And now Arakas is down to his Earth, to his Dark deck.
darkness
So
only.
of course, Bondix is going to keep the copy power air, and then if he wins, we're going to be facing the Shadow Mirror in the last game, which I think Bob Volt will really like.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he expected. So we have a Shadow Solis on one side, and is it a pure Shadow on the other side? Or
It's
no, it
let's
says
bring it up. Let me check.
Bondix.
So
Shadow Solis. Shadow Solis.
so Arrakis.
No, it's also a Shadow Solis, but a
Yep.
bigger one. We'll see who has the biggest then. And does it matter really? Pretty exciting games though. I don't know if you feel difference from like
No, no,
Xbox
uh,
casting, but it's
no, no. It's good. It's really good
much more
games.
intricate, much more dynamics. Like in the Xbox casting, we're like, okay, this happened and it's done, and it's like one card, two card, three card, and it's done. 7:25. It's 9:35. Okay, I've lost. There's a lot of going back and forth, which also leaves much more the possibility to kind of play suboptimally. We see a lot more that because back then you kind of more to recite the optimized gameplay. Now this famous standard opening that we like, corner and then answer in B2 or something, I feel it's more specific to when you're second player or when you're a control deck like copy power or something like that, but it's not as general, like when I have a proactive leader, I'm actually most of the time not gonna open with this opening.
Yeah, no, it's. Let's see. Guys are getting ready.
You will see I have a gauntlet of kind of stronger super abilities, but the other one are not too far behind now, with some little adjustment that should come in a medium future.
Switch over to Bondix deck again. So he still will he stay on his air? Yeah, he will stay on his air,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because you
yeah,
know
that's
that.
true. And so what we could check is who has the better matchup for the Dark Mirror if it happens. So we have a 715 Earth, a 705 Sarash, and a 710 Water for Bondik. So we have some neutral, we have some one neutral, one weak, one strong.
Yep.
Okay. And could we please switch over to
Switch.
Aracas? 4 cards. They have basically 4 cards in the deck. It's incredible. So
Yeah.
Aracas has a big field, which is not obviously the best. He has a big water, big nature, big fire, and a big dark. So he has exactly the same type of weakness and strengths, except his cards are lower because he has a big field, which is not gonna be so good in the mirror. So his mirror advantage is kind of not so good. I could see him, if he comes up to this realization, maybe he could try to sleeve it up now
Yeah.
because he's gonna be on the play. So it's a banner deck on the play. Maybe you can beat the counter mirror, and keep the power and then on top of that you keep your no, and then it's still a dark mirror at the back. Yeah. Anyway, he has to play with this one. Anyway, I'm stupid. There's no choice for
Nope.
Arcas.
No choice. He is stuck.
It's nice. You just think for nothing, but it's always a pleasure.
Still one more
So
game.
yeah. He's gonna have to win both. No, win one of the two. So yeah, let's once again not. He should not think, okay, this game it doesn't matter because I'm gonna win the next one or something. He really has to play
Yep.
his A game. His A game. And can we switch to Bondix again, please? So we're gonna see how he's armed for this matchup against the banner then. So still the 715 Solis Hannibal, of course. We have a Sarash that is lower. We have a Shadow and Solis that is also lower, so that's kind of not as good on that point. And we have a water card that is not good at all, and a nature card that is neutral or lower. So actually, Bondix matchup, quite surprisingly, except for his leader, which kind of makes sense, is not that good against Dark.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah. Well.
Especially with only the small fields. Let's see.
Well. Yeah. There. So
Yeah,
Bondix did keep his air, obviously, and
yeah,
obviously
it's
Aracas.
his second player. It's like it's perfect for him.
So
Copy power air. Uh,
Aracas is not in an easy position now. He's playing the weaker element and going first.
all right.
Or sorry. Hold on.
Starting with air. Yeah, Aracas was
Arax
playing first.
Arax plus. Yeah.
Starting with air. How is Bondix? Bondix probably gonna do the C3 play. Nope.
Okay, he's going more aggressive.
All right. Oh, because he thinks Since he has the upper hand on the leader, maybe he's going to be able to switch stuff on his side and
Maybe
so
he's worried because of the banner but yeah, still, you're not gonna be worrying.
well, this one is a bit, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
if
thing
he
is,
didn't have a pair in hand, so he was lost. He would start with pair usually.
I mean, basically what Arakas can do is obviously try to play his leader earlier. It will benefit him because the other one is copy. So unless Bondix plays a big early, maybe his air leader is not going to be able to do anything against
True, true,
Arak's
true, true, true.
leader.
So to create a setup where he has to play a big guy, get punished, and punished on the and punish on the counter, and so create proactive setup. Why not? Why not?
I think that's your best bet, but I don't know if you can
Mm-hmm.
swing that so easily.
So now what is he trying? Maybe does he have a nature in hand? Yeah, he has a nature. No, it doesn't. That's Bondix. Because I was like, with nature in B2, he creates some kind of a crab. Oh, not at all. Yep, fire there. Player
All
one
right,
creating some trinities far
trinities,
away from Bondix
guess
possessions.
points, but
So
I mean now I think Bondix might just want to drop his big
it's dark right now.
darkness right now
Yeah, yeah. I
in
was thinking
D3.
about that.
D3, just slot it in or something.
It would make sense. It would clearly make sense. A strong play, not easy to counter, buffs up your leader.
Yeah,
Totally makes sense. And you know that
yep,
Arrakis has what, one big Earth, and that's it.
yeah,
No
exactly.
big air. And it's actually pretty screwed for the fire right now. Yeah, maybe Arrakis could have taken back from the other side. No, it's kind of screwed anyway.
Then Bondix
So now,
just drop like a small. I will see what happens. But you want to
what
lock
could
in your big guy.
that's really not nice what's happening here for Arrakis. It's a really bad position to start up.
For Bondix, you mean? So
No, for Arrakis, everything's possessed by Bondix now.
yeah. Sorry.
No
Yes.
problem. I made it 5 times.
Yeah, I
But
confused them. I just flipped them in my mind.
yeah, we've been casting for quite a while. I've been making some confusions too lately. I've noticed
Yeah, no.
confusing the Archons and stuff. Okay, yeah, you had to do something. You had to break that Trinity. That's kind of a whatever play. Actually, at least he can take it back from all the angles with his dark at some point in the game. So
Yeah, but as soon as you
he's able
drop
to.
if you drop your leader, then it's super vulnerable.
Yeah, but maybe something else gonna happen.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
nature, but there's not too much nature I see in Erica's
Yeah,
step.
that's a good.
Oh, but the nature was played by our friend
Yeah, Bondix
Bondix.
locked that
But
up good.
why did he play nature? Oh, because the water, neither the water nor the earth takes back the nature. That's why he played nature. It's a safe nature.
Yeah. So and probably Rakas doesn't want to go into this pocket now because, well, I
Yeah,
mean
but it kind of
it's
has to go somewhere somehow. And where is that? So there's you can attack either by the water or by the nature.
really doesn't have anything really that can do much.
Attacking by the nature with an air cards kind of, what could happen? Could happen a fire, but the fire you can take it back from B2 after. I think maybe attacking in A4 because okay.
Oh, he went for it. Okay.
Oh, but in A4, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And it takes up all the way but the thing is now it doesn't have the I was gonna say if you attack in A4, it's double. Oh, yeah, that's what was that nature from Bondix? It's like it was the perfect outcome for Aracas, where he can take back anyway.
Yep.
That's why he didn't care. And actually, I was going to say now Aracas doesn't have his take back on B2 anymore. I think he was supposed to take A1, A4 with something else than this leader. Because, like, most of the stuff that could have been
Ah,
added
yeah.
here would have been taken back by the water and he could have taken back from B2.
Yes.
And now he can take back from B2, but it doesn't have anything to take back from B2. Actually, it was quite, you know, ballsy from Bondix to even play there because, like, clearly smells fishy.
Should be favor Bondix, but because he has the stuff.
Yeah. But what's left is not a Trinity also. He's not farming. Now Aracas is farming again. So it's kind of a reset, but he's a bit behind and his Trinity is not really strong. He has nothing to protect it. If Bondix dares to play a strong card, it's not going to be so nice. And he can also just take the in C2, with something. What could he take with in C2? Not that much, actually.
He doesn't really have anything to do. I
Like
mean, he could play
Air in C2?
air, yeah, an
Air in
area,
C2 is kind of weak, so you could maybe want to play it in B1 instead.
yeah,
Air in B1, or kind of just slam your Sarash somewhere.
yeah, because you will go around because you still have your leader, so can do the round one there
Yeah, with a small fire. Okay, yeah, just takes in B1 with a small fire.
because that locks it out of that one, and
He feels he has a much enough point advance.
yeah, and
Yeah, because the air wouldn't have locked. Yeah, exactly. See, another reason
because
not to play the
Arrakis doesn't
Solus
have
in the
his leader
beginning.
either, so he can't take very far no matter what. Everything that Arax
Yeah,
plays, Bondix can take one
yeah.
longer, so it's
No, it's completely over now. So we're gonna have 2-2, a nice 5 game finals ending in the prophetic Shadow Solis
shadow,
mirror.
shadow. Yes, gonna be good. Oh,
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, but like you say, no chain, no game,
yeah,
and
because
and the
now
position is way too weak. It's like
now he just slams down big
it's a
fire,
585 air.
takes all the way across. Or does he go? Ah, he has the light. The light
Yeah,
there is good. Then he sets up another Trinity.
can do whatever he wants basically.
Yep, 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 yep.
He's actually writing on Discord to his friends right now. Yeah, I go home.
So, oh, okay, he went
Yes,
with it. He went
here
with
it is.
a safer option.
It was the little, he's probably under a lot of pressure. He was back against the wall, like fighting for his life on this game. He knew he was ahead, but you never know too much. It was like, okay, I
It's
got
enough.
this one. Let's
It's
just.
enough.
It was actually doing the. It was actually counting probably the exact mass,
Yeah.
which is something I tend to do way not enough,
Not
way
enough,
not
yes.
often. I kind of tend to play games just exactly what I said in the beginning. Like it was like the game's going to be infinite. Like I have to play the game to the end. And I always try to make the best long-term play. And sometimes I spend 2 minutes and I play my card victory by highest point. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I was at 48. Okay, that's I just had to capture one card and I won. Okay, sorry, bro.
Uh, all
Okay,
right. So this is
so
very fitting. We get a final Darkness versus Darkness in the Arc tournament. That's
Bondix two field in the dark tournament.
yeah,
Two fields in the mirror. Okay. Honestly, I don't know what to do with the information. 710 light, 750 water, 715 earth, fire. They kind of have the same mix. Same mix, except there's a nature for Aracas, and he has only one big field, so probably has a bit more spread on these guys too, even though he's not. Yeah, he's
yeah,
playing banner. So he's playing banner, so he actually has the deck cost reduction a bit more than Bondix. Yeah, we'll see.
yeah. We'll
It's gonna
see.
be Yeah,
The
I like, neutral CTA is always a really nice CTA. It would be boring if it was only neutral CTA, but it's really a way to appreciate the game like in its most purest essence. No affix, 60 points, neutral leaders. It's a really beautiful way to determine the winner of a tournament, I think.
yeah, it's fun. All right, the players asked for a 1 or 2 minute break, so we'll take
Yeah,
a short break here as well, and then we come
I
back
was
for
nearly
the final.
gonna ask it myself. Okay, thank you.
All right, welcome back. All right, we're ready now. Let's see if the players ready as well. I think we are about to see this final. Darkness versus darkness.
Yeah,
Final arc. Final.
yeah,
Best of five.
darkness.
2-2. Bondix, Aragas. Right.
So
Should be.
which deck who's they choose? Oh no, sorry. So who's gonna play first?
I think it's random hound, so we shall see.
Oh yeah, the final one is random, of
Well,
course.
it's 2-2. Just random on the last. So that should be interesting. They they both played good, so I think this is very very
Yes.
open. Though they have like there are some plays that happens in the middle and then it tilts strongly towards one person and then the other one sort of loses hope and just throws cards on the
Yeah.
board.
There was a bit of that. It's true. Yeah. It's probably, the 2 days of tournament and whatever. We've seen that, people who are not used to such long tournament as, the other
Yeah.
TCG players or whatever. It's more like short rounds over the week format that works better. So maybe there's some adaptation on our parts to do. I don't know.
No, I
But
mean you have to figure out if you have a lot of people, you need to go a lot through a few rounds otherwise.
mm, mm, mm,
It's
mm.
just the way it is. But
That's
obviously,
true.
okay, Bondix is playing with Fields and Arrakis,
On the
sorry,
play,
with Banner. So,
banner.
all right, Arrakis is on the play. Yeah.
Okay, just one shadow on one end and a lot of candies on the other end.
Arrakis did draw
Big
exactly what
field.
is needed, both the field and the big air. that could be quite decisive.
Yep.
And he got his big field for darkness as
But
well. Though,
the setup will be really
obviously,
important.
obviously, with two fields in your hand, your other card choices gets quite limited, especially when you have the big air as well. So basically, he has two
Mm.
cards every round that he can
Yep,
play.
exactly.
So it's gonna be a little bit forced, which might put you in uncomfortable positions now and then. But yeah.
Yep, we have a shy start.
Yep.
Pondix to play. What could we throw back with? An Earth in D2 that he could take back for the nature later. The small one that could even be taken back by his leader. But not the small one wouldn't take, so no. Could also play just b3. He is player 2. This is the usual, start playing
Yeah.
b3. Once again, like a 419, for example.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's something like that.
Yeah, he's thinking hard here. Bondix, what he's lining up.
Yeah, well, last game of finals, people tend to do that.
Oh yes.
Time, I guess time management is going to be a key here too. Okay, it goes for another type of play. So inciting Arakas to take in a3 maybe or b2 and being able to have a good comeback. Mm, Bondik just could try to just could do a nice trinity with this water somewhere. Yeah, in b3 could play water in b3. Start to farm some points. If your opponent, take first, then you can take back. It's always nice to open on this kind of diagonals because then you can be the one to counter the play. And it starts to create Trinity in potential pocket borders, which are not pocket now, but could very well be soon. See, up, it's been pocketified, and now Aracas is just gonna slam something real nice there. Like, for example, isn't it time to play your big dark? Double Trinity? I think it is.
Oh yes. Here we go.
I think it is.
Good chunk. But
So, and
but
is that air going to be enough now? I don't think so.
oh well 50
N-
plus.
Not in my book. It's not 50. Oh yeah, it is
Yeah.
50. It's really is 50. Um,
And keep in mind, yes, no, that's not gonna be gonna be doesn't have I mean yeah. It's good.
and I'm sorry, the
It's
airplane
the other
was.
way around, so it's yeah, he's it's good.
It still wouldn't be enough.
It's,
So actually, I thought the story was on the nice side. The guy with nothing was actually, yeah, he can do it on the other way. And now, is there air going to be enough? Especially that it's field influence? No, no, it's clearly not enough. So actually, Araka's kind of rushed into this play, got counterplayed, and now cannot take back. But if he takes in, yeah, he takes there, it still takes kind of a nice bunch of stuff. But
yeah,
that doesn't put two trinities on this leader, and
yeah,
that's
that's a risk. That is a
that's a risk.
risk. But we see
We
Bondix
see.
cards, and it's not really a risk, but it could
But
have been.
since I'm confusing them with Araka's cards every 2 minutes, I'm just making general statements now. No. Is that Earth can take this little spot, right? I think maybe at some point you're gonna try that. No, he's looking up there with a small trinity. That's fair. That's fair. It's like a nice little corner to lock, and you don't want to start the pockets right now if you can make a nice play like that. But you're gonna have to be efficient on the next turn. He knows that. He knows he doesn't have the cards to be efficient on the next turn yet, so he's hopefully waiting for some help from his deck.
See here. It's, Rakas is up a little here. 7 points. Keeps building
Yep,
there.
yep. And now Bondix has to do something. He has to break something.
But
So
Bondix the cards are just not there. He's already
yeah,
drawn
well,
both.
he can't. Attends, 580, 680. He can take in C4.
Yeah,
Yeah, like he has to hope that it holds. Sometimes you have no choice. But C4 is a really good take, and you have zeros or things to do. Kind of
yeah.
hope that he has to break the field to take or something, but no, it's not true. He's gonna
Problem
take
is we have
easy.
a big air.
Yeah, well, honestly, even the oh no, not the 86. Yeah, probably even the nature card was enough with the airfield breaking the other
There we
one.
go. We have
And
a
that's
victor.
it.
We have Arakas
Arrakis.
is the winner,
Winner.
and he
Oh
yeah
my
that
god.
it was it's I mean
It's
yeah
kind of
there was a
Naruto all
lot
over
of
verse 50k.
points quite early, and there was a lot of things. I mean
Yeah. He
we're
was
on
good on that. He made that a couple of times, like farming a lot of points actively in the early game and then just creating setups where I can at one point farm a lot of points just to close up the game. And like it looked like a lot of time it looked like he was losing the control of the board. That's why we were saying like, oh my god, he's gonna win. But then he was often making a counterplay that would just farming plus 15 points and bring him so close to victory that usually with just this little Trinity locked it was enough. So it might have been kind of a game plan, to actively create trinities and then, but you have to create them in a way that you're going to be able to take the board.
yeah well played. So here we can see the end result of the Arc
GG.
Arena second
Wow,
tournament.
disgusting.
Arakas cashes in $130 in Prana,
And
60.
60, so he has
So,
three
so
solicits?
three solicits right up the.
No, oh my god, that's insane.
That's pretty good. Not gonna lie. And yeah, I mean Bondix is.
Why were we casting Lord?
I
Was my
well.
solis.
Well, you maybe might be good enough. I'm not good enough, so this is the best I can do. I can, but
Yeah, but it adds up to the one from the ladder, just get four there, four from the ladder, whatever, just buy four, you can
yeah.
scrape them here and there.
Yeah, well, excellent plays from everybody playing today. We have a lot of people and a lot of people yesterday that put in a lot of effort.
And
It
look at top
was
32, Le Chou, Esqual, Ursoxo, Telworth, Prylonen, and
yep,
Purpsol, Babavos. What is like everybody's there.
Skull and also yeah, I mean the
It's like
Tonics and
Christmas at
Firebird.
Arena.
I mean yeah, it's the Donkey King as well. I mean yeah, everybody pops and
Everybody, nice. Arc federates people. Thank you, Arc, for hosting this tournament. By the way, qualifying it was really nice, really well done. It was a little personal touch, and it was cool to see that. It was really a pleasure. Really nice games.
good games, yeah. And thank you everybody for tuning in, and
Yep.
we'll see you
Congrats to the winners again.
next time. And yeah,
And don't
congratulations to
forget about the
Rakas.
CTA manager from Arc and go check it out
Yep,
and just start
city,
managing your CTA.
yeah, citymanager.com. Sign up and enjoy the tools and get your pretty deck lists. And especially you guys that are tournament organizers and you want to show deck lists that we showed today. That's where you can do it. And yeah, all right, that was it for today. Uh,
Bye bye. Have a
bye
nice
bye
Sunday.
and goodbye.